Good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don with you in Dr. Don's weather page, our severe weather center. It is Tuesday morning, January 26, 2021, 1:34 a.m. Central, 2:34 a.m. Eastern, and we are on the air watching a line of showers and thunderstorms moving across Alabama and Georgia at this hour. We have a tornado watch that has been issued for portions of east central Alabama and west central Georgia. And I'll show you that in just a few moments. That watch goes out until 6 a.m. Central this morning. The only severe storm we have at the moment is in Georgia. And it's going to be for this thunderstorm cell that is about to cross I-75 near Marietta, between Marietta and Kennesaw. Now, this was a tornadic cell just a few moments ago. And the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning for a possible tornado near Dallas, Georgia, moving off to the east. That has since been downgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning. And the Weather Service now is telling us, just bear with me, I'm reading this at the same time as it's coming in. All right, so the Weather Service is telling us that the original rotation has weakened. They're watching an area near Kennesaw, though. And so they're going to let this ride with a severe thunderstorm warning for the time being instead of a tornado warning because the rotation seems to have subsided. But again, for those of you in North Metro that may be watching this morning, this is a pretty nasty line of thunderstorms. Matter of fact, I live way up here in northeast Georgia, and I can see the lightning or the sky lighting up down there. Of course, it's not but about 60 miles from where I live to the King and Queen building on Highway 400, just north of the 285 perimeter, and that's basically where this is headed. I can see the sky lighting up down there, so some pretty nasty lightning taking place down there, and I would expect a gusty wind front with this as well. All right, so let's go back down over here in East Alabama, and let's go back to Birmingham. It'll take just a moment for that to load. There we go. And while we're doing a little housekeeping, let me turn on the watches and warnings for you. All the counties that you see in blue are counties that are now under a tornado watch. For our West Georgia counties, that goes until 7 a.m. Eastern. For our East Alabama counties, that will go out until about 6 a.m. Central this morning. And those counties include, in our coverage area, Cleburne, Calhoun, Talladega, Clay, Randolph, and Coosa, and also you folks over in Chilton County. I know we have a lot of viewers over there, and even up into Shelby County. Those counties are under a tornado watch now until 6 a.m. this morning. So what we're looking at here, we have a main line. Let me take the warning box, watch warnings back off, so this is not so congested. We have a line of thunderstorms that stretches from about Rome, Georgia, back down to near Anniston, to near Alabaster, back down to the Centerville Brent area, and then down to around Demopolis, and then back into Mississippi near Meridian, right there along the Alabama-Mississippi state line, right along Highway I-20, Interstate 20. This entire line, the individual storms are racing off to the northeast. We'll put it in motion so we can show you what we're talking about. The individual storm cells are moving off to the northeast while the system as a whole slides off to the east. So this main line has been very slowly progressing across the state of Alabama during the overnight hours, and eventually will make it into East Alabama. But now we're also having to keep an eye. Let me stop it and bring it current. We're also having to keep an eye on these individual cells that are popping up well in advance of the main line of storms. Now, let's just take a ride down here and show you what we're talking about. All right, so this stuff that we're looking at right here is in southern Clay, northern Tallapoosa, extreme northeast Coosa, down there around Goodwater, just north of Alexander City, near the mountain community in southeast Clay County. And we'll back it up a few frames and then bring it forward. And you can see these storms are moving to the northeast. Right now, these storms are not severe, but these are individual cells that are forming out ahead of the main line, so we're watching this area. Right now, no indication that anything squirrely is going on in this particular cell. We'll turn the velocity product on. I don't see anything out of the ordinary there. Back to the reflectivity. And then we'll zoom back out. Go out a little bit wider. There we go. For the moment in Alabama, this stuff back over here between Utah and Brent, just north of Demopolis. For the moment, that's the story in Alabama. We've probably got some hail going over here. Then from Anniston back up to the Georgia state line up into southern Cherokee County. That's a pretty nasty looking segment of the line as well. And then, of course, we have the severe thunderstorm warning up here near Kennesaw. And now the National Weather Service is telling us that they have seen an uptick in the rotation near Kennesaw State University, up here on I-75, just north of Atlanta. So they're really keeping a very close watch on this cell. It would be right in this area here. This is Kennesaw. The university is sitting right in this area here. So this storm has a history of rotating. It was rotating in Alabama when it came across the state line, and it's still showing signs of rotating this morning, even at this hour. So you folks in North Metro, be aware. We've got a nasty thunderstorm up there that could go tornadic at pretty much any moment. So again, though, watching, and we're paying attention to that because we don't have any warnings in Alabama right now. And hopefully it stays that way. But we're going to watch this throughout the course of the next several hours. We went into the overnight hours last night not thinking that this was going to be a big deal, and I still don't think it's going to be a big deal. A big deal as far as being widespread. But you know how the story goes. If you get a severe thunderstorm over your house or a tornado over your house, then it is a big deal. It only takes one. So you have to kind of be careful when you say it's not going to be a big deal. All it takes is one, and then it does become a big deal for, it may not be a large number of people or a large geographic area, but it is a big deal. So that's why we're here this morning. Our threshold typically is a tornado watch. Once the watch goes up, then we get in gear and get out here to give you coverage. I am watching the chat room, and we'll bring you. We'll be looking at that from time to time. So if you have questions, comments, or concerns, good time to post them. Here is Meredith. Just had the tornado sirens go off in Marietta, so we do have folks out there in the Marietta area this morning. And that's going to be for that warning that was issued for this thunderstorm cell, Meredith, that has since been downgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning. We do not have a tornado warning for the Marietta area right this moment. Now, they are continuing to watch this cell because it's fluctuating. It'll lose its signature of rotation, then it comes right back. The last note from the National Weather Service is that they are noticing some rotation near Kennesaw State University, KSU. So if you're in Marietta, Alpharetta, pay attention to this, though you're not under a tornado warning at this moment. And I appreciate you folks in the Marietta area watching us. That's just down the road from where I'm broadcasting from. All right, so we got Woodland in the house this morning. Newell's out there, 5 points. Good morning, Angela. Kristen's in Omaha. That's in Alabama. Tiffany Taylor is in Roanoke. Melissa Tripp's in there this morning. Says she has some family members up in Jacksonville. Yeah, pretty nasty line of thunderstorms moving through Jacksonville right now. It is not severe, but that's a pretty nasty line of thunderstorms. I actually have thunder and lightning taking place here at the studio as well. So if I were to go away, I'll get back to you just as quick as I can. We have a new battery backup system in place, so hopefully that'll keep me on. Nothing going on in Woodland right this minute, Jasmine, but you are under a tornado watch that was issued by the National Weather Service just about 30 or 45 minutes ago, and that watch will go out until 6 a.m. this morning for all of Randolph County, Cleburne, Clay, Talladega, and Coosa. At the moment, Tallapoosa, Chambers, Lee, Hurd, and Troop, and Harris in our coverage areas are not covered under the tornado watch, but that could change. Brandy's watching us over on West Point Lake. Linda is watching us from Rock Mills. Let's see, Tim and Sheila Clifton watching us in the Providence area. Marie Marston's in Alexander City. Mandy Williams has got us going on in Wadley this morning. Mal Waters is in Alexander City. Matt Brewer is trying to wake up Charlotte. Carol Bergens is in the Wadley area. Sharon's watching us from Alex City. Daniel Holloway is in Roanoke. Roanoke, you're under a tornado watch until 6 a.m. this morning. Nothing happening in Roanoke right this moment, but if you'll look out there toward Wadley, we are beginning to get some heavy rain falling now in downtown Wadley and up there just north of Wadley up to the Corinth area, to just south of Malone, and then back over to Cooley Crossroads and Clay County, back over to the mountain community, Goldville, Hackneyville, just south of Millerville. Some pretty heavy rainfall right there, but that's not severe. For the moment, we have no severe weather in the state of Alabama. Everything is below severe limits. But I got to tell you, this stuff back over here to the west, around Centerville, Brent, and back over there around Alabaster and Pelham, even some stuff right there just north of Talladega is looking awfully ominous this morning. So we're going to keep an eye on that over the next couple of hours. We got to get this line through East Alabama. Once we can get that pushed out of East Alabama, then the threat of severe weather will go way down. Cody is watching us in Cherokee County, or asking about Cherokee County. Nasty line of storms coming through Cherokee County up there right now. But we don't have any warnings. We did have warnings up there earlier this morning. Right now, there are no warnings. And I'm going to turn the watch warning legend. Well, I thought I was. Okay, folks, bear with me just a moment. I'm going to have to reset. Well, I don't even know that I can do that. All right, your screen's going to stay black for just a moment. We're using a beta version of our radar software. It's brand new, and there are some bugs. So occasionally we are crashing. All right, so we got the radar back. Now I want to put our watch warning legend back on here. There we go. Again, all those counties in blue are counties that are under a tornado watch until 6 a.m. in Alabama, 7 a.m. Eastern in Georgia. In Georgia, the only counties of our coverage area that are under a tornado watch this morning would be Carroll County. And then in Alabama, Cherokee, Cleburne, Calhoun, Talladega, Clay, Randolph, Coosa, Chilton, and Shelby. Tallapoosa, Chambers, Lee, Hurd, Troop, and Harris are currently not under a tornado watch, but that could certainly change. Frank and Connie Scott asking about Alexander City. Well, you're in Tallapoosa County, so you're not under a tornado watch at the moment. You do probably hear some rumbles of thunder. But that storm cell is sitting just north of you. And then back over toward Kellyton, there's some rain up there on Highway 280, north and west of Alexander City, just south of Goodwater. And that's moving off to the northeast, but also sliding to the east at the same time. So you might have some rain showers around the Alexander City area in the next 15, 20 minutes or so. But I think right now the more dangerous weather is going to be in that line of thunderstorms, that big long line of thunderstorms that stretches from Cedartown down to just south of Birmingham and then back down to Meridian, Mississippi. And it may be another hour or so, maybe 2 hours before we get that line to start moving across East Alabama. So that's where your biggest threat for severe weather lies right now. But we're going to keep an eye on it. Cody says that he lives on the Alabama line and that he watches Dr. Don's weather page because Georgia won't report it till it's on top of them. And that's a problem. And and I get off on these tangents sometime. I spent 22 years in East Alabama. I was in broadcast radio, for those of you who are not familiar with who I am, in East Alabama, and weather's always been my thing. And so, Cody, I hate to use this cliche because it's used way too often, but you're preaching to the choir. I understand what you're saying, brother. I spent 22 years in the same situation you're talking about, and I know it's frustrating, and it really should not be that way, and I'm not making excuses here by no means. But you have to understand, Birmingham and Atlanta, the television markets, maybe the television markets should not be drawn exactly the way they are, but it is what it is. And East Alabama is in the Atlanta market, and you really should be, from a weather perspective and a news perspective, you really should be in the Birmingham market. You want to see Birmingham news or Alabama news, and you want to see Alabama weather, not Atlanta, because by the time the storms get over into East Alabama and West Georgia, they're still being controlled or covered by Birmingham. Atlanta's not going to pick it up really until it gets into metro Atlanta, and that's because of their television audience. 6 million people in Atlanta. Birmingham has millions of people in their coverage area, and they're not going to diverge from their regular programming to cover a small population out in rural Alabama or a small population out in rural Georgia. Though they will scroll at the bottom of the screen, in all fairness, they do that. I've seen it with my own two eyes, and they're required by the Federal Communications Commission to do that. But as far as wall-to-wall coverage, showing you what I'm showing you right here, and doing it the way we do it here on Dr. Don's weather page, Birmingham and Atlanta, under most circumstances, are just not going to do it. Now, this time of morning, they may pay a little more attention to it because they're not running primetime network programming with millions of dollars being spent on advertising. And I know that sounds silly, but you have to understand television is a business. That's how they make their living, is through advertising. So I don't want to spend too much time on that. We're here to talk about weather this morning, but that's kind of in a nutshell what's going on here. Jasmine is in Woodland wanting to know if she can go to sleep. Well, if you have a weather radio that will wake you up if you fall asleep, if you have a loud app on your phone that will wake you up if you fall asleep, if you have some way of being notified that will wake you up, then by all means go to sleep. But if you don't, you might want to keep one eye open until we get this line of thunderstorms through here. I can't tell you what it's going to be doing in Woodland 20 minutes from now. We could be looking at absolutely nothing, which is what I hope, or we could have severe thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes when this line comes through. So unless you have a good, reliable, preferably at least two good, reliable ways of receiving weather alerts that will wake you up, then your least course of regret and safest thing to do is to stay up and watch what's going on. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. Amanda Roberts says that her daughter lives in Milton, Georgia. I know exactly where it's at. I have a cousin that lives in Milton, Georgia. And Amanda, you can tell her everything is okay in Milton right now. The tornado warning was for a possible tornado way west of Milton, back over near Dallas in Georgia, and that tornado warning has since expired. And also the severe thunderstorm warning has now expired. And they did not reissue, and the lightning just quit. I mean, it was lighting up the world coming out I-20. And then just in the last 5 minutes or so, it just died. So you can tell your daughter that lives in Milton, yes, she may hear a little rumble of thunder, it may rain real heavy, and it could even get a little windy, but there is no tornado threat in Milton, Georgia right this moment. Same for Ackworth. Matt talking about how warm it is outside, and it is. And I've been talking about that the last couple of days. And you've heard me say that anytime we get up to around, anytime we get over 65 degrees this time of year, you better be looking out for the possibility of severe weather. Going into this event, there was some evidence to suggest that because the layer of warm air extended so high up into the atmosphere, that there wouldn't be very much mixing. So we didn't really think that we would have a large severe weather threat. And I still don't think we're going to have a large severe weather threat. But like I said at the top of this broadcast, it only takes one in your front yard, and it is a huge event to you. So we're going to cover this for you. And I'm just checking as we're talking. I'm looking at, let's go to Bacon Level. I'm looking at some temperature readings from around the area. Yeah, and I'm right around 70 degrees in most locations around East Alabama and West. Some of you are in the upper 60s, and some of you are like 69, 8. So you're right there at 70 degrees at 1:58 a.m. on January 26, 2021. So yes, it's way too warm out there. Now, but understand, we get a lot of severe weather in January, and tornadoes and severe thunderstorms in January are fairly common across Alabama and Georgia. You don't think of January as being a severe weather month. You think of January as a time when we're supposed to be getting some snow, but we do have severe weather, really in every month of the year. But November, December, January, even into February, severe thunderstorms and tornadoes are certainly a possibility. I'm going to take you in a little closer on this stuff in Clay and Randolph. It is picking up in coverage a little bit. That rain now stretches to just north of Roanoke all the way back over into south central Clay County. Again, this part of the storm is not severe, and this is not the area that we really think the greatest threat of severe weather would come from. But nonetheless, it's pouring in Roxton right now. Roanoke, you just got some light rain going on, but you go up Highway 431 up there to around Roxton. The rain picks up big time there around Cornhouse, back over toward High Shoals, just south of Potash. We got some small pockets of moderate rain up there on 48, just east of Wedowee, headed back toward Woodland. Then up there on 431, just north of Wedowee. Then as you go out Highway 48, just south of the lake down there, a couple of pockets of heavy rain. Then more heavy rain from the out Broughton Ridge, from about the Friendship community out to around Malone, then down to Wadley, Corinth, back up 77 on up into Clay County, Cooley Crossroads. And then you get up there to the cutoff to come back down to New Site. We've got some heavy rain there, some heavy showers on 48 there in Lineville, up there around Barfield. And then down here in extreme northwestern Tallapoosa County, Hackneyville, right there along the Coosa County, Tallapoosa County line, just east of Kellyton, right there along Highway 280. And then some smaller pockets between Kellyton and Hanover, back up towards Stewartville. But that's not severe. This line of thunderstorms that's behind it is what we're watching for the possibility of severe. And we have no warnings in place right this moment along that line. But there are several places along that line that look awfully suspicious. So that's why we're here this morning. That's why you see all of those blue shaded counties. Those are the counties that are under the tornado watch. In Alabama, that goes to 6 a.m. In Georgia, that goes out to 7 a.m. Eastern. Amanda Lovern is watching us up at Foster's Crossroads. Jeff, we will check on that. And if you see anything confirmed, let me know. Donna's watching us in Woodland, Alabama. There's Kristen in Roanoke. Christy is watching from Alexander City. Lucy Boggs, Anniston. Real heavy thunderstorm moving through Anniston right now, Lucy, but it's not severe at the moment. Kay's asking about the coffee. Yes, Kay, I do have the coffee. That's a prerequisite of going live. I do have the coffee going. I actually have a cup in my hand as we speak. Okay, so here comes another report, and what folks are asking about is Fultondale. And I've already seen, and these are unconfirmed reports, but I've had several folks speaking of the possibility of folks trapped in the Fultondale area. And I am seeing some video here. Let's see if we can get... Bear with me here. I've got to do a couple of things, and we'll see if we can get this up. This is pre-recorded. All right, that's WVTM in Birmingham, and that was pre-recorded earlier. Let me see. I saw a couple of other videos, too. Says Fultondale devastated by a possible tornado. Several people critically injured. It's like a bomb went off. And this is AL.com, so that's pretty reputable. So let me get up here and see if we can get you some photographs. Here we go. Yeah, that looks like some significant tornado or storm damage in Fultondale. That looks like a hotel. That's the Hampton Inn in Fultondale. All right, and there's some trees down, and then there you go with looks like a vehicle blown off the roadway with trees down there as well. Let me just look a little bit further. Here's WBRC with some information. Let's see if we can get some video to play. All right, so that's just some raw video from Fultondale in northern Jefferson County. Credit WBRC, Channel 6 out of Birmingham for that video. And what appears to be tornado damage that moved through around midnight last night or just before midnight. And apparently there are some injuries and a lot of damage in the Fultondale area there in northern Jefferson County. All right, so we head back over to the radar, and we have things misplaced everywhere. So let's see if we can get that back like it should be. Good morning, Dana in Budston, Sylacauga. There's April Morris. Larry Mitchell is in Springfield. I know where Yeldon Roberts is. He's way out yonder in Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. Good morning, Stanley. Good to see you this morning. Kayla Singleton, watching us in Heard County, Georgia. There's Miss Carol. Good morning. Chris Nelson. Getting a little breezy at Nelsonville. Lucy Boggs Smith, she's in Anniston. Leslie Arrington watching from Dadeville. Carolyn's asking a question, what's going on in the Kennesaw area? Nothing right now. The severe thunderstorm cell that we had up there earlier that prompted the tornado warning has weakened. We went from a tornado warning to a severe thunderstorm warning, and then that has since expired as well. So, I mean, you've got some thunder and lightning, and you've got a thunderstorm in the area up in the Kennesaw sections of North Atlanta, but there's nothing severe up there right now. Keeping an eye on it, though. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate those kind words. This line of storms is moving rather slow. Cassandra's asking the question, how fast is this line of storms moving? Well, it's moving real slow. This line was responsible for the possible tornado that hit Fultondale just before midnight last night. Well, Fultondale is in North Birmingham, so it's only traveled since basically midnight to 2:08 a.m., so 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's only traveled maybe one county, maybe two counties. So it's moving relatively slow. Thank you, Wanda. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate it. Okay, so my buddy Yeldon Stanley is actually in Pueblo. I was out there, well, June will be 2 years ago. I was in Pueblo, Colorado, out at the CERTC Training Center. If you're in public safety and you ever get the opportunity to go to CERTC out in Pueblo, Colorado, do yourself a favor, my friend. Go. Wow. If I was about 20 years younger and knew then what I know now, Don would probably be living in Colorado. I understand why Stanley's out there. It's a gorgeous place, man. Pat's asking the question, what time will this line move through Roanoke? Well, you got showers and thunderstorms in the area now, but that's running out ahead of the line of storms. It's 2 o'clock now. I'm going to say probably in the 3:30 time frame, 3 to 3:30, maybe as late as 4 a.m. before this line actually starts moving through Randolph County. And it's a slow-moving front. Amanda's asking the question, anything bad coming toward Lineville and Lake Wedowee? Well, this is a nasty line of storms. There are no warnings right this moment. What condition this line will be in when it moves through your particular area, I can't tell you. But I can tell you that the potential is there for it to be rough. Hopefully it won't be. But the conditions are in place for this line to go severe at any moment. So far, it's, other than the storm that hit Fultondale, so far I haven't heard of any damage across Alabama. But 5 minutes before that storm hit Fultondale, we didn't know that was going to happen either. We knew there was a chance it could, and it did. So this is a setup where, we can't tell you exactly what's going to happen at any one particular location as this line comes through, but the potential is certainly there for this to be nasty when it moves through your front yard. Well, thank you, Kristen Stover. I appreciate those kind words. That makes a fellow feel good when he's giving you information for a major metropolitan city and you can't find anything locally. So I appreciate that. Ackworth. Matt says it's just now starting to rain in Woodland. That's from that stuff that's out ahead of the line of storms. That's right here in Randolph County. This is not it is associated with the front itself, but it's not along the front. It's developing out ahead of the front. Sometimes those storms can be just as dangerous as the front, but right now this does not have the structure and doesn't look like anything to be concerned about right now. Haywood, Napoleon. I know exactly where you're at. Chad's asking the question, when is the worst expected for Pennon and Lafayette? Well, it would be along that line. And again, we're probably a good 2 hours away from this line coming through Chambers County. So, it's 2:13 a.m. Central Time now. So you're probably, 4:15 to 4:30 before this line actually makes it into Chambers County. I got to tell you, it's moving so slow, and this happens very often. Now, this line is expected to stall out just south of the I-85 corridor, so it could slow even more before it gets down to the I-85 corridor. Best guesstimate I can give you is a couple of hours, but it could be as long as 3 hours or maybe even 4 hours before this thing gets completely out of East Alabama. And that should have answered your question as well, Sharon. Francis asking the question, is it going to get bad in Wedowee? I don't know, Francis. I wish I could tell you for sure, what's going to happen. I can tell you what the potential is. I can tell you what the possibilities are. And the possibilities are, yes, it could get bad in Wedowee. Hey, Todd, good morning to you. Todd used to be one of our supporters here at Dr. Don's weather page, and we're hoping he comes back to us real soon. He says that there is some light rain in the great metropolis of Dickard, Alabama. Chris is on duty. Okay. That explains why you're awake this time of morning. Raining pretty hard in the tin shop area. Kristen Hanner's reporting heavy rain in Roanoke. That should be just north of Roanoke now, yeah. Let's go take a close look. Roanoke should be rain-free right this moment. You got some rain over there just east of Rock Mills, up Highway 22 right there along the state line, where 22 runs into Georgia and turns into 34. High Shoals showing some rain just to the east of Cornhouse there along Highway 431. Still got some rain up there around the Friendship community. Wadley should be pretty much rain-free now for the time being. Rain out there just east of Wedowee, out 48 between Wedowee and Woodland, just to the west of Napoleon. And then as we look at the rest of Randolph County, just some moderate showers up there just north of the Ava community and then north of Fuller's Crossroads. And for you folks over in Heard County, just west of Franklin and south of Central Hatchie. And then we got some heavy rain over there around Mellow Valley, south of Lineville. To the east of Millerville. Highway 49 down there around New Site. And y'all could probably hear rumbles of thunder in the background here at my house. It is, got some pretty good lightning out there. North of Alexander City, up there northwest, Tallapoosa County still got some rain. And then over there in Coosa County, Goodwater to Stewartville to just northeast of Weguffka. North of Sylacauga in Talladega County, just north of Waldo. And then you get into the line itself, and it's knocking on the door in Talladega, down there to around Childersburg, Columbiana, Montevallo. Just went through the Centerville-Brent area, and then you get down there to around Greensboro, and then Demopolis, and then the line stretches on down into the Mississippi. I'm going to take you back to Peachtree City for just a second. I want to see, maybe, here we go, what I am dealing with. Okay, so most of that lightning is coming from that cell that's sitting down there on Lake Lanier in Gainesville. So my studio is right there where you see the cursor. So all the lightning that I'm getting is coming from down here around Gainesville and right down 985 all the way down to Buford. It's a heavy thunderstorm right there. Moderate rain up there around Helen, stretching back over to Ellijay, Jasper, Dahlonega. And then you get into some heavier stuff here in the north end of Metro from Gainesville down to Buford, to Lawrenceville, back over to Sandy Springs, Alpharetta. A lot of heavy rain. Canton, Cartersville, Sandy Springs. Get down here into west central Georgia. Heavy rain there just south of Cedartown and just north of Bremen. And then back into Alabama. We'll leave the shot right there. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate your kind words. Somebody tell Joanne that if somebody message her and tell her that if her feed is still frozen, she needs to log out and log back in, because I show everything good here. Yeah, thank you, Carol. There's Miss Cecil Newman listening to us this morning down in Pennon, down at Newman Farms. Amanda says it's raining real hard in the High Shoals community. And lightning and thunderstorms continue in Kennesaw. Yes, there's no question about that. But the thunderstorm that prompted the tornado warning about 45 minutes ago has weakened. And therefore, you don't have anything severe in the area right this moment. All right, so here's a statement just out from the National Weather Service. Not much threat for tornadoes currently, but watching heavy rain pile up over the same areas as the first storm in Polk County. This is Georgia we're talking about. Fast storm motion should help keep amounts down in any one spot. Hopefully storms to the west-southwest don't keep following the same track. So what Stephen is saying is that he's concerned about the training effect that's taking place this morning. That's a terminology you will hear quite often in the weather world when they talk about the train effect. And what they're saying is these storms, though they're moving to the northeast, our eastward progression has really slowed down over the last several hours. So that means these individual heavy storms that you see are moving over the exact same locations as they move off to the northeast. So it's like pulling a train down a track. And we're getting the same locations dumped on cell after cell after cell. So that's what he's concerned about in this area right here in northwest Georgia. Just really getting hammered with rainfall. So watching that for a possibility of some flash flooding up there, especially street level flash flooding. I wouldn't think river flash flooding would be a problem just yet, but if it continues, it would be. Cassie Smith's got us going on this morning in the Big Springs. Daniel asking about Roanoke. Yeah, Roanoke's in the clear right this moment. Not in the clear, but you're rain free at the moment in Roanoke. Let me put it that way. But when that line of storms you see back off to the west comes marching through in the next couple of hours, we'll have to watch for the possibility of a severe thunderstorm. All modes of severe weather are possible, though this is not a classic severe weather setup this morning. Now, if we were doing this at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and it had been sunny all morning and our temperatures were in the low to mid 70s, we probably would be dancing to the beat of a whole different tune this morning. But this is kind of one of those weird setups where it comes through in the early morning hours. It's during the peak cooling of the day. But it is warm outside. We have a southwest flow that has ushered in some really warm temperatures. Most everybody in East Alabama and West Georgia hanging out in the upper 60s to low 70s this morning. It is late January, and so that's typically sets up the stage for severe weather. Well, this is happening in the wee hours of the morning. We have warm air going way up into the atmosphere, which is limiting things a little bit. But we are getting some mixing up there, which we didn't originally think we were going to see. But that is happening, so we do have some storms that have tried to rotate and go severe. We've only had a handful. We had damage up in Fulton, Fultondale, which is North Birmingham, from a storm that moved through there between 11:30 and 12 o'clock last night. Apparently some pretty significant damage there and injuries. And then we had a tornado warning an hour or so ago, maybe an hour and a half ago, right there along the Alabama-Georgia state line up in Cherokee County. And then it's the same cell. It went tornadic again over near Dallas, Georgia, and near Kennesaw. And that cell now is the cell that you see sitting over there around Gainesville, moving right up I-85, between 985 and I-85. But it has not gone severe, though it is showing that it's rotating. But now all thunderstorms rotate to a certain degree. But it has not gone tornadic now in about 45 minutes. So keeping an eye on that, and we're watching these. You look along this line, you see you just glance at it, you can see where the heavier reds are. You have one spot there just south of Cedartown. You have one area right there around Anniston. You have one area right there around Talladega, near Sylacauga, trying to get going. And then down here just south of Alabaster, near Brent, between Alabaster and Brent, you have another area. Well, each one of those individual areas, right there at the southern tip of those areas, is where you would want to look for the possibility of rotating thunderstorms. And out of everything we're looking at in Alabama right now, this storm up here around between Heflin and Anniston would probably have one of the better structural looking tails on it, getting awfully close to the 431 interchange there with I-20. And you see this tail down here. Now, we're not severe. There's no indications of a tornado there, but the structure is interesting. So this would be the area you'd watch for that possibility of formation. Then you get down here on this Talladega storm, you see right there. You'd kind of want to watch that area. Even up here closer to Talladega, you could have something pop up there. The Childersburg storm looks really disorganized right now. And then down here on the Alabaster or Montevallo storm, we actually have some meso detected there, which means that there is some rotation taking place in that thunderstorm also. But again, all thunderstorms rotate or there wouldn't be a thunderstorm. This is just telling us we've got some rotation in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That does not necessarily mean that you'll have a tornado produced from the storm. It is an indication that you could, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to. And so you'd watch this area down here for the possibility of formation along that line. So there's your little weather 101 this morning. Yeah, nothing in Marietta. That when your sirens were activated in Marietta, that was for the storm that was back over near Dallas, Georgia, and also around Kennesaw State University. That storm was moving east. It was moving directly toward Marietta. But that storm has since weakened. We have no warnings in the state of Georgia at this hour. So that's what that was all about, and that storm has weakened. So, yes, Nicholas, you do have lots of rain, lots of wind, probably some thunder and lightning, but nothing severe at the moment. Opelika, your turn's coming. Just hang in there. You're a couple of 2-3 hours away from this line moving into the Opelika area. But right now, Opelika looks good. Well, apparently the sirens went off in Cobb, Polk, Douglas, all those areas around Villarica and back up toward Kennesaw, and that probably has that's rocked about 2 million people up out of the bed this morning. So that's why everybody's in asking questions about the sirens and where the storms are. And again, I'll tell you that if you're in North Metro, and I'm talking about Roswell, Marietta, Melton, back over toward Kennesaw, even back out I-20, Villa Rica, Dallas. There's some heavy rain in the area and some heavy thunderstorms in the area, but we have no warnings at the moment. The sirens were activated earlier this morning because of a thunderstorm that was capable of producing a tornado near Dallas, Georgia. That storm has since weakened and moved on off to the east. Now, you do have a strong line right now that's stretching from about Cartersville on 75 back down to around Dallas, or just to the west of Dallas. This will be round number 2 for you, Dallas. And then it stretches on back down to around Buchanan. That's moving off. The individual cell is moving to the northeast while the line is slowly pushing off to the east. And it comes on down to around Tallapoosa and then gets into Alabama right there along the Alabama-Georgia state line right there just north of I-20. And then it comes on back over toward Heflin. Chula Finney, that's one area that we got to kind of keep an eye on. Nothing happening there right now, but the structure looks a little interesting. And then back down to Talladega, Childersburg, and then we have the Montevallo storm down there. For those of you just joining us, it is 2:30 a.m. Central, 3:30 a.m. Eastern on your Tuesday morning. Dr. Don with you in the Southern Union State Community College Severe Weather Center. We are watching a line of storms march through Alabama and Georgia this morning. National Weather Service issuing a tornado watch. Those are the counties you see highlighted in blue. That watch goes until 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Eastern. I can tell you, though, that those counties in blue that's behind the line now, and that would be Birmingham. Well, no, you're not. Well, Birmingham's in the clear. And then western Shelby County is in the clear. If you get behind that main line there, you're in the clear. And some of those counties on the left side of that watch there will start dropping off here soon. Annette is asking about Gainesville. Annette, I live just north of Gainesville, so I can kind of see y'all down there in the valley. I live up on that mountain. You in Gainesville, look north. That first big old mountain you see, well, that's where I live. That's Waka Mountain. You're okay in Gainesville. Some very heavy rainfall right there along between 985 and 85. Getting on up there around it's probably going to be the Commerce. Yeah, there in Banks County and Jackson County. This area right here from Gillsville back down to around Talmo to Hutchton, that's moving off to the northeast. So from Hutchton up I-85 up to around Carnesville, a horrible ride this morning. Or it will be in a matter of moments. If you're up there around Commerce, probably good idea is to pull off at one of those restaurants right there and let this thing pass, because you're about to get some crazy rainfall in this particular area. But back to the original question, Gainesville is fine. I'll zoom in on Gainesville, Georgia for you right quick. And we do have some heavy rain on the south end down there around Oakwood, between Gainesville and Oakwood, but nothing severe. 985, not a good ride this morning either. All the way down to, well, really all the way down to Norcross. 985 is a washout. I would hate to have to drive through Atlanta this morning. It is not going to be pretty. And here's the bad thing about it. We may be doing the exact same thing 24 hours from now, because we have a warm front, believe it or not, that's going to push back up through tonight, and we could have this exact same scenario set up again tomorrow morning. So let's go back down here and let's leave that shot up. I'm going to step aside just for a moment and refill the coffee pot. Thank you, Annette. Annette says Walker Mountain is a beautiful place. It is. We live up on the north side of Walker Mountain, actually facing Dahlonega. And beautiful, beautiful area. I mean, it's tough every morning getting out and going to get in your vehicle to go to work. Back when we used to go to work, it's tough having to fight all the wildlife to get to your automobile. All right, so I'm going to leave the feed up, and I'm just going to take a short break. I'll be back in a few minutes. If you're just joining us, we're watching a line of thunderstorms move through East Alabama and Northwest Georgia. At the moment, no severe weather warnings in effect. We do have a tornado watch that is in effect until 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. for the Alabama counties, 7 a.m. Eastern for the Georgia counties. In our immediate coverage area, the Georgia counties are Carroll. In Alabama, it is Cherokee, Calhoun, Cleburne, Randolph, Clay, Talladega, and Coosa, and also down over toward Chilton County. Those are the counties that are under the watch. If you're in Tallapoosa, Chambers, Lee in Alabama, Hurd, Troop, Harris in Georgia, you are not under the watch at this time. That could change, though, as we go throughout the morning. They could extend it off to the east and to the south. So we'll let you know if that happens. Stay with us. You're listening to live coverage this morning in the Southern Union State Community College Severe Weather Center on Dr. Don's weather page. I'll be right back with you. Good morning, East Alabama. Dr. Don with you in the Southern Union State Community College Severe Weather Center. It is 2:30 Central, 2:43 Central, 3:43 Eastern on your Tuesday morning. And we are here watching for the possibility of severe weather this morning. We have a tornado watch that's in effect for several counties in Alabama and several counties in Georgia. In Alabama, in our coverage area, our primary coverage area, we have Calhoun, Cleburne, Talladega, Clay, Randolph, and Tallapoosa under a tornado watch. Again, that's in effect until 6 a.m. this morning Central. And in Georgia, our primary coverage county of Carroll is under a tornado watch until 6 a.m. Now, there are other counties included in that watch in Georgia and in Alabama. For Cobb, southwestern Cherokee, and Paulding counties until 4:30 a.m. Eastern. That is the only advisory we have out there right this moment, but we're watching this line of storms as it moves through Alabama and Georgia for the possibility of some severe weather this morning. Well, we have already received reports of what appears to be tornado damage in Fultondale, Alabama, which is in northern Jefferson County, from a possible tornado that moved through that area around 11:30 last night. And I'm just looking to see if I can find more video. And yeah, we're going to take the internet. There. Just as I took it, they went back. Let's see if we can get that to go back. And we can't. Okay, well, we're going to keep an eye on that, and if we get more pictures from that, we'll bring that to you. One thing I would like to bring to your attention this morning, if you are watching us and if you'd like to support Dr. Don's weather page, we certainly appreciate anything you can do for us. You can go to paypal.me/Dr. Don WX. We have been on the air doing this now for almost 2 years. Been doing Facebook weather coverage for over 5 years, but we have been doing our daily primetime weather forecast and bringing you severe weather coverage now for almost, April will be 2 years. And we rely on your support and our partners who support us to keep us going, because there are costs involved in what we do. So if you would be so gracious as to help us out, we certainly do appreciate it. PayPal.me/Dr. Don WX. It's quick, it's fast, it's secure, and we appreciate anything you can do to help us out. If you or someone you know owns a business and would like to support us, then all you have to do is send me a message, and I can have you started by our next primetime forecast, which was originally scheduled to be this morning at around 6 a.m. Not so sure that's going to happen on time, but we'll get it up for you just as quick as we possibly can. We do appreciate all you folks who support us and have supported us over the years to keep us going here on Dr. Don's weather page. Those of you who are in Georgia that are not that familiar with me and you're scratching your head trying to figure out what we're doing, I spent 22 years in East Alabama in broadcast radio. And so I still have a huge following down there. A lot of folks know me from my years in East Alabama and West Georgia. And weather was my thing back in the day. And thanks to modern technology, I am once again able to provide you with weather coverage for the areas of East Alabama and West Georgia that don't necessarily get the coverage you deserve out of Birmingham and Atlanta. So I'm here doing that for you this morning. Thanks to Southern Union State Community College over in Wadley, Opelika Valley. They bring you the Severe Weather Center. They sponsor our WSV3 radar system that we use, that you're looking at right now, which is the exact same system that the major television markets use. So we're able to bring you the same level of coverage as what you would expect from the big boys in the major cities. And we can pinpoint those areas of East Alabama and West Georgia and give you the coverage that you deserve. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please comment in the chat room, and I am looking at that from time to time, and we'll answer those questions for you. Also, let me know where you're watching from this morning. We'll give you a shout out. Bobby Smith asking about Fredonia. That's down there in Chambers County of East Central Alabama. Same situation there as everywhere else. If you're ahead of the line, it hadn't moved through there yet, but it will within the next couple of hours move through Fredonia. And while I can't tell you exactly what shape that line's going to be in when it moves through Fredonia, I can tell you that the possibility is that we could have some severe weather. So we're going to watch this thing together as we go throughout the morning and let you know. Is it going to weaken before it gets to high shoals? I can't tell you. I can tell you that the forecast for this line of storms overall is for it to be in a weakening trend as it moves east. So far, the structure on some of these storms still looks pretty good. And we have not had any tornado warnings now for quite some time. We don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings out there right now. We are in the peak cooling time of the day. If you have to have the threat of severe weather, this is the time of day you want to have it, because there's no heating of the day going on because the sun hasn't come up yet. So I would tell you that there's a good chance that these storms are in a weakening mode. They appear to be in a weakening mode, and that is the forecast. But don't let your guard down until this line moves through, because this is one of those setups where we could have a rogue thunderstorm go severe very quickly. So until that line moves through your area, you need to stay weather aware. Still about the same, Daniel. No major changes. Temperature's going to stay unseasonably mild, Matt, until... Well, hang on a second. What's the East Alabama right there? And now this forecast is a few hours old, but it'll answer your question. We're going to stay mild today, even after this front moves through, because this is we've got a warm front that's coming up from the south too, so it's going to keep us warm. And then we're going to have another round of storms tonight into Wednesday morning. Then we'll cool off, but it'll be Wednesday afternoon before we start to see the temperatures go back down, and we'll head for the low 30s Wednesday night. And then Thursday and Friday both look sunny and much, much cooler. Some 20 plus degrees cooler out there by Thursday versus what we're going to see today. And let me check one other thing just to make sure none of that has changed. Yeah, we're headed for 70 degrees today, 49 tonight. Then Wednesday, will be a little bit cooler during the day on Wednesday. High temperature should be in the low 60s. And then Wednesday night, we actually dip down to around 32. Some locations will be a little cooler, some will be a little bit warmer, but that's a good average. And then on Thursday, we're looking at sunny skies and 50. Thursday night down to 27. And then on Friday, 56 will be your daytime high. And as we head into the weekend, partly sunny skies on Saturday with a high near 58. Saturday night, showers become likely as another storm system moves in. Mostly cloudy down to 46. Right now, we're looking at a 70% chance of rain Saturday night. And then on Sunday, showers likely 62. And showers should get out of here Sunday night. We go back mostly sunny on next Monday. All right, so the National Weather Service just canceled the tornado watch for Calhoun, Greene, Hale, St. Clair, and Sumter counties in Alabama. Those are the counties just south of Birmingham, some of the counties just south of Birmingham, and then back down there around the Demopolis area. And the National Weather Service is continuing the tornado watch for Bibb, Chilton, Clay, Cleburne, Coosa, Marengo, Perry, Randolph, Shelby, and Talladega counties until 6 a.m. this morning. So what happens after this line moves through this morning? Hang on, I'm reading some data that's just coming in. All right, so there will be a chance of scattered showers for the rest of today, mainly up until around early afternoon, and we'll go to near 70 for your high. And then tonight, here comes that warm front coming up from the south, so we'll have a chance of showers and thunderstorms, then showers and possibly a thunderstorm after midnight down to 49. Chance of rain tonight is 80%, and then on Wednesday, showers and possibly a thunderstorm before noon. Then a slight chance of showers after 3 p.m., high of 61. Chance of rain on Wednesday is 80%. So it's just like I was saying a few moments ago, we may be looking at a very similar setup tonight, and tonight being Tuesday night, into Wednesday morning, where we have another line of strong thunderstorms march through the area in the wee hours of Wednesday morning. If you believe some of the models, that's exactly what's going to happen. So exactly 24 hours from now, we could be here doing this exact same thing again. Well, thank you. Is it Anna Maria? I think that's correct. Malden. Thank you so much for your comments. That's just something I've always done, and I've been interested in weather my entire career. I'm not a meteorologist. If I had it all to do over again, I think I probably would have taken that path in life. But I'm very intrigued by it, and what I try to do is bring you factual information. I don't try to do clickbait. I don't try to fearmonger. I don't try to gain attention. I just give you the information as factual as I know how. And I stay very close to what the National Weather Service is publicizing. I'm just pretty much a messenger between the National Weather Service and you guys. And I try to do it in a calm manner and talk you through these situations. A lot of folks have serious anxiety when it comes to severe weather. And while severe weather should certainly be respected, and you certainly should be in the know and be aware of what's going on. It's really not something that you need to fear, because sometimes fear can cause you to make bad decisions that can lead to other problems. So we try to keep it calm for you and just give you the factual information. And we can get a little more in depth and pinpoint localized areas a little better than the National Weather Service can. For instance, the National Weather Service office at Birmingham has got most of the state of Alabama that they have to worry about, with the exception of the Huntsville counties and the Mobile counties. They cover a huge chunk of central and south Alabama. So they can't sit there and talk about Randolph County all night. Well, I can. So I can talk about Randolph, Clay, Coosa, Tallapoosa, Chambers, and even over into our West Georgia counties. So that's what we try to do here on Dr. Don's Weather Page, is just give you the information as factual as we possibly can. Are we always right? No, we're not. Weather forecasting, is not as advanced as we would like to be, though it has come a long way, and just in the last 20 years. It's still not an exact science. And so we are going to make mistakes. There's a bust factor in every forecast that's given. And that does happen from time to time. I believe I'm going to have to turn the air on. I mean, even up here in the North Georgia mountains, it has gotten awfully warm just in the last 30 minutes or so. Chance is making a comment that it looks like it's going to miss Randolph County on his big screen TV. No, that would be well, y'all heard that. That's thunder. That would be incorrect, Chance. It's not going to miss Randolph County. What you have to understand is, and I talk about this all the time, and I know it's hard to, let me just put the radar in motion. I can show you a little bit better. And I know this is, unless you do this all the time, this is kind of hard to understand. Here's how these storm systems work, especially in the southeast. You notice when you just look at this, it does look like the storms are going to move north of Randolph County. Looks like the storms are going to move north of Clay County. It looks like they're running right up Sylacauga, Talladega, Anniston, and on up toward Roswell. So it looks like Clay and Randolph and even Coosa, Tallapoosa, and Chambers are going to totally miss this stuff. Well, that's not so, because here's what's happening. Those individual cells are moving to the northeast, but the entire system as a whole is moving slowly off to the east itself. So the point I'm trying to make is, for instance, the storm you see down there by Sylacauga, that particular cell, yes, it will miss Randolph County, because it's going to end up over here in probably northern Clay and on up into Cleburne. But more storms will form down to the south of that Sylacauga storm as the line or the system moves off to the east. Those storms will be the ones that will come up across Randolph County. The storms that will come across Randolph County really hadn't even formed yet. But they will, because the south end of that line will continue to develop as the system moves off to the east. So even though it does look like these storms are going to miss some areas of East Alabama to West Georgia, I can assure you they will not. There will be more storms that form to the south and move right across Randolph and Clay, and even down into Coosa, Tallapoosa, and Chambers. So I hope that's as clear as mud, and maybe that cleared that up for you a little bit. Miss Cecilia, I got me a fresh pot going too. I'm ready. Thank you, Sharon Wilder. I appreciate those comments. Over in Ashland, Alabama. Hope you're also listening to my boys over at God's Country. I'll keep you updated this morning as well. Well, Anna Maria, that's correct. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. if I venture off into what I think is going to happen, I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that's just what I think. That doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. But when you've been doing this as long as I have, you've seen setups like this time and time and time again. So sometimes I get it right. Misty Lopez is watching us in Opelika. Mal is asking the question: is that storm in Sylacauga with the rotation moving toward Alex City, or will it move north of us? The extreme southern tip of that particular cell might make it across Alexander City. And understand, too, when storms start to rotate, they can take on a right-hand turn, which means they can turn more east than northeast. And right there toward the end of this loop, you'll see the rotation kind of drops to the south. So that kind of indicates to me that we might have a right flanking storm forming over there south of Sylacauga. So if you're in Alexander City, I would pay attention to it and maybe increase your level of awareness just a shade, because you can see that the storm is getting stronger even back to the south of that point. Let me stop the loop and bring it current. You see this stuff down here down here just north of Clanton. That stuff's beginning to fill in also. Let's go back to the Birmingham radar and see what's further south than that. Yeah. You can see this line goes all the way down into southwest Alabama and down into near Laurel, or just north of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So Alexander City, the part of this line that you're going to get most likely is going to be this over here just south of Clanton. By the time it gets over here, that's probably what you're going to get. And right now, that's a pretty significant looking section of the line. But again, let's don't lose sight of the fact that we have no warnings in the state of Alabama or Georgia at this hour. So that's a good thing. If we had severe thunderstorm warnings or even tornado warnings all up and down this line, I would be a whole lot more concerned right now. But we're just not seeing it. All of these storms are staying below severe limits, and it certainly will be a storm when it comes through, but right now we're not seeing any indication of anything severe. Sylacauga's getting hammered. I got a comment in there that says it's getting rough in Sylacauga. Let's go over there and take a look at that. From Childersburg down to Sylacauga on 280, bad idea right now. And you can see we got some really heavy rainfall, some gusty winds. I don't see a tremendous amount of lightning. Only recording 6 strikes in the frame that you're looking at and this is in the last 1 minute, last 60 seconds. We've had 4 strikes now in this area, so there's not a tremendous amount of lightning being produced here. Allie's watching this in Hollins. I'm sorry. Yeah, Keaton throwing old War Eagle out there this morning. Good morning, and War Eagle. Snowy Cat is asking about Kennesaw. Says that none of the stations are showing anything there anymore. And the reason they're not showing anything right now is because there really isn't anything to show. I mean, there are some showers and thunderstorms in the area, but it's all below severe limits right now. So until you get a warning of some magnitude, you probably won't see anything on Atlanta television. But Kennesaw is okay right now. Just showers and thunderstorms in the area. The sirens went off in Kennesaw earlier this morning. Well, went off in multiple counties of North Metro. Woke up half of the world. But that was for a rotating thunderstorm near Dallas, Georgia. And then it started rotating again near the campus of KSU at Kennesaw State University about 30 minutes after that. But that storm has since weakened and moved on off to East Georgia. That particular cell is not in the area anymore. So there's nothing going on in the Kennesaw area, Marietta, Roswell, Alpharetta, Milton areas. You're all good right now. Just a lot of heavy rainfall, occasional thunder and lightning, maybe a little gusty wind from time to time, but nothing severe in that area right now. Yeah, Brittany, nothing going on in Dallas right now either, other than some rain. Let's see. Yeah, and the heaviest rain has just moved out of Dallas. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to say Dallas is in the clear now, but if you look back off to the west, you do have some more moderate rain that's going to move through the area. That stuff coming through Piedmont, Alabama, just south of Cedartown, north of Bremen. All of that will come through Dallas. So you still got a good hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before you're completely out of it. But the leading edge of that line is now pushing to the east of Dallas and will soon be pushing to the east of Kennesaw. And once that leading edge gets out of your area, let's just say that your chances for severe go way down. You're not completely out of the woods, but it goes way down. Yeah, getting a lot of pictures now from Fultondale, Alabama, and I'm afraid this is tragic. Let's see if I can. I'll just bear with me here. I'm going to try to do something. Back to the internet. All right, these are some photographs. Let me center it up on the screen for you. These are some photographs being sent in this morning by one of my good friends that I actually work with over here in Georgia. He is a firefighter down in Jackson County, Georgia. Lawrence is sending me photographs that he has found online from Fultondale, Alabama this morning. And as you can see, total destruction. And that's too bad. I know that, let me see if I can take that. There we go. We also have injuries, we're told. And quite a few homes have been damaged. Now, Fultondale, Alabama is in northern Jefferson County. That's just north of Birmingham. This possible tornado, and looking at this, I'm going to pretty much say that is a tornado. Moved through the area around between 11:30 and 12 o'clock last night. And that was the same thunderstorm cell that prompted the tornado warning. That's the reason the sirens went off this morning in northwest Atlanta Metro, or West Atlanta Metro. Same thunderstorm complex. That has since moved on off into East Georgia and has not gone severe since. There's another shot. of just total devastation. Again, this is in Fulton Dale, Alabama. That light that you see in the background would be from the city. That's not the sun coming up or anything like that. That's being illuminated from lights off in the distance. But as you can see, some pretty nasty looking photographs coming out of North Jefferson County over in Alabama from technically a possible tornado, but I can pretty much guarantee you that's a tornado that caused that damage. Misty is asking the question, will Opelika get anything? Yes, Opelika will get something later on this morning. Now, I can't tell you exactly what Opelika is going to get. I can tell you it's going to rain. That's a pretty good bet. But as to whether or not you're going to have severe weather, I can't tell you that for sure. I can tell you the possibility of having severe weather is certainly there. All right, so the National Weather Service now has canceled the tornado watch for Cherokee, Haralson, and Polk counties in Georgia, and continues the tornado watch for Carroll, Cobb, Douglas, and Paulding. So if you're in Georgia, the following counties remain under the tornado watch: Carroll, Cobb, Douglas, and Paulding. If you're not in one of those four counties, you are not under a tornado watch, and it's pretty much safe for you to go to bed if you want to. So you folks in Cherokee and Haralson and Polk, you were just released from that tornado watch, and you are now in the clear. In Alabama, the following counties continue under the tornado watch until 6 a.m. this morning: Bibb, Chilton, Clay, Cleburne, Coosa, Marengo, Perry, Randolph, Shelby, and Talladega. If you're not in one of those counties I just mentioned in Alabama, then you are not covered by the tornado watch. If you are in one of those counties I just mentioned, you continue under a tornado watch until 6 a.m. this morning. Again, those counties are Bibb, Chilton, Clay, Cleburne, Coosa, Marengo, Perry, Randolph, Shelby, and Talladega. National Weather Service is telling us very impressive storm about to move into southern Marengo County. Don't let your guard down there. And so that is going to be down here. Let me look and see if I can get a closer pinpoint on exactly which part of that cell they're talking about. All right, it's going to be this cell right here. So if you're down there in southwest Alabama, anywhere from Sweetwater to Linden, maybe even up here around Thomaston, you want to start paying attention to this. We do not have a warning on it just yet, but the National Weather Service is giving us a heads up that this storm looks very impressive. Does appear to be taken on an inflow notch. It's kind of not in the exact right place you'd like to see it, but you can't discard it because of that. So if you're in Marengo County of southwest Alabama, anywhere between Sweetwater and Linden, Pennington, I think you're pretty much safe because this is going to slip just to your south, moving off to the northeast. But if you're between Sweetwater and Linden on Highway 43 in Marengo County and even back up here around Thomaston, you really want to pay attention to this storm. You could get a warning on that one pretty much at any time. But that's way down in southwest Alabama on the south end of this line. Most of our viewers are way up here in East Alabama, well removed from that. And as this line moves off to the east, that section of the storm, well, that's just so far out there, there's no way of knowing whether that would hold together to make it into East Alabama or not. We are beginning to get the line to push on to the east now. We're getting into Clay County, northern Randolph County. So let's just take a tour here. We'll start up in Carroll. We got a little rotation up here just to the east of Carrollton, but not at the ground level. That's up in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So the leading edge of the line now stretching from Carrollton down to around Roopville, over to about Hawk, maybe down to Woodland. Very heavy rainfall up there, just north of the Hawk community. Even up into Cleburne County, up around Hightower, Pine Hill, Pine Tucky, Marston's Crossroads. If it's not pouring right there right now, hang on, it's coming. Wildwood, Center West, down at the Liberty community. As we get over into Clay County, Needmore, Delta, down to Barfield, down Highway 9, down to Lineville, Highway 49 and west from Lineville, it is pouring this morning. Bowden Grove, some very heavy rainfall there. Claremont Springs, Campbell Springs. Weather Service just removed Bibb and Shelby counties of central Alabama from the tornado watch, continuing the watch in Alabama for Chilton, Clay, Cleburne, Coosa, Marengo, Perry, Randolph, and Talladega until 6 a.m. Central this morning. Just north of Ashland. So Ashland, you'll get the rain here in just a few minutes. It's headed your way. And then as we come on down the western side of Clay County, Glades, down to around Brownsville, Hollins, very heavy rainfall over there in Hollins right now. Sylacauga, just pouring. Then as we get on down into Coosa County, one little small cell there around Goodwater, but heavier rainfall now from just northwest of Kellyton up to Mount Olive, stretching on back up into Talladega County. Heavy rain now in Hanover, right there along Highway 231 all the way up to Stewartville, Wetumpka. And we get down there into Chilton County along I-65. From about right there where the Alabama Emergency Management Office is located, the Interstate I-65 and Highway 3, stretching on down to the Enterprise community. This is the Enterprise community of Chilton County, not South Alabama. Interesting note, Enterprise, Alabama, Chilton County is where my grandparents are from. So you might want to say I kind of got my start right there. You see Gumhead right there. That's population 3. That's the old home place where my grandparents and all those folks grew up so many years ago. My dad still owns a little plot of land right there in Gumhead, Alabama. That's in Chilton County. Then we come on back over toward Billingsley. And we dip down into Autauga County across the extreme northwest sections of Autauga County there. And then get into Dallas County, just north of Selma. You folks watching us down there in Selma, you got areas of heavy rain, but I don't see anything really scary in the Selma area right now. And the line just kind of breaks up until we get down there to around Sweetwater. And then that's the area that we're talking about down there in Marengo County that needs to be watched real close. From Sweetwater back up to Linden along Highway 43. So that's tour of what we're looking at this morning. The main reason we're here is because we have a tornado watch that remains in place until 6 a.m. Central for the counties that you see shaded in blue in Alabama. And in Georgia, it's hard to see because the reflectivity's got it covered up. But in Georgia, pretty much in our coverage area, Carroll County is the only county that remains under the tornado watch at this hour. But the leading edge of all this stuff now beginning to work into Clay County. We told you when we started this broadcast that we were looking at around 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock before this line started to progress across East Alabama. Well, here we are at 3:24 a.m., and the leading edge of that line of thunderstorms now stretching across central Clay County down into central Tallapoosa County. Central Coosa County. So you folks in places like Alexander City, Ashland, Lineville, this thing's knocking on your door. After we get behind this line, the threat of severe weather will drop off quickly. So we're in the home stretch here, maybe about to get this over with. Yes, Mal, I can do the Futurecast radar, and I will just as soon as we get this line out of here. I will do that before I go off this morning. I'm just a little cautious about switching from the live view right this moment because I'm running a beta version of this software, and I don't want to overtax it because it could crash and then I could have a hard time getting it back. So we're going to stay with the live shot for now. Once we get this line through East Alabama, then I'll go over there and run the Futurecast radar to show you what we're looking at tonight into tomorrow morning before we end our broadcast this morning. You're welcome, Snowy Cat. I'm glad I could answer your questions for you this morning and make you feel better. That's why we're here, folks. Just giving you the facts. Nicholas is asking the question, any chances that more heavy storms for Georgia? Not this morning. The storms over in Georgia have really calmed down in the last, hour or so. But we are going to have a warm front move north tonight. And when I say tonight, I'm talking about Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And so we could be doing this again at the exact same time tomorrow morning. But the severe threat seems to be diminishing quickly, especially in North Georgia. We still got to watch the line as it moves through Alabama. But right now, the mere fact that Hurd, Troop, Harris, Coweta, and West Georgia are not under tornado watches tells me that the National Weather Service office in Peachtree City is looking at this line back over in Alabama where we do have a tornado watch, and they're saying this line is not intensifying. It's not showing signs of strengthening, so we're not going to issue tornado watches for these counties downstream. So that's telling me this line is weakening, and you can look at the reflectivity and tell that it is. We're not completely out of the woods yet. We still got to get this thing through, but overall, it looks like we have a weakening line of thunderstorms, and I think we're going to be, especially those areas that are not under a tornado watch, you're going to be just fine. Well, Samantha, it depends on where you are now. The northeast section of the line is in Georgia, but you see the line trails back into Alabama all the way down to Mississippi. So if you're anywhere east of Lineville, Ashland, Kellyton, or Selma, then the line has not moved through your area yet. But if you're west of those areas I just mentioned, then yes, you're pretty much in the clear. Good morning, Brittany and Paulding. Appreciate you watching us. Peachtree, somebody asking about Peachtree City. Nothing going on in Peachtree City right now, but you do have that line just to your northwest. For the moment, that line is not severe, nor is it showing signs of intensifying, but it will come off to the east. You'll probably get that stuff you see back over there in northern Randolph County. It's probably what will end up coming across Peachtree City in the next hour or so. Sharon says that she can see lightning in Alexander City. Yeah, no doubt. It's knocking on your door. I don't know, Sharon. Right now, it's not severe. Whether or not it'll go severe coming through Alexander City or not, I don't know. I can tell you that there's a possibility that it could, but I can't tell you whether it's absolutely going to or not. It's not severe right this moment, though there are a couple of segments along that line that look pretty strong. We got one segment coming through Millerville now. You see all that purple and blue up there. That's very heavy rainfall. May actually be some hail involved with it too. As a matter of fact, radar is telling us that there is an 80% chance that we do have hail in that storm, and there's a 30% chance that it's 3/4 inch or larger. So up there in Clay County, from Ashland down to Harkins Crossroads. Let's get a little tighter on that. All right, there's downtown Ashland. Here's Highway 9 coming out of Ashland. So we've got it's a small area, but we have a hail core showing right there between Ashland and Harkins Crossroads. That'll be moving off to the east northeast. So there could be a little some hail right there. There's a 30% chance that is large hail. And then everywhere you see the pink and the little blue spots, those areas could be seeing a little hail mixed in with the rain. But I guarantee you, it is coming a gully washer in Ashland, Alabama, all the way down Highway 9 down to Millerville and on down to around Goodwater. As they would say down in Frog Eye, that is a frog strangler right there. Heavy rainfall continues up in Graham, up in extreme northeast Randolph County, down to around Hawk, Foster's Crossroads, up there to around Bucktown, all the way up through Bowden, and then on up to just south of I-20. But right now, this is the heaviest part of the line that we can find, and it's in Clay County from Lineville to Ashland to Millerville. Then it comes back down to just east of Goodwater, just east of Weguffka, and then on down into the Enterprise area. Now, if I'm in Rockford, we do not have a formal warning right here. Kelly's Crossroads, that's in Coosa County. Down here, just past the river on Highway 22, what is that, Blue Creek? Right there where it goes over, where 22 goes over the river. Coming up 22, just before you get to Kelly's Crossroads, there's a little bow right there. No indication that we got anything going on, but the wind right here could be pretty strong. That should end up pretty close to Rockford, too, as it moves off to the northeast. All right, looking at the velocity product, this kind of shows us what the winds are doing, and we do have some strong winds there, just to the east of Highway 9 now, over in Clay County. 58. Well, there's a 60 right there. That's a 60.5 mile per hour outgoing wind. And of course, all of it's outgoing because it's blowing away from the radar site. Now, if you were looking for rotation, you'd be looking for outgoing and incoming side by side. We don't see that. But some pretty strong outgoing wind, 60 mile per hour outgoing wind there just south of Millerville. Now, that 60 mile per hour wind's not making it all the way to the ground. I don't think it could, but it most likely is not making it all the way to the ground. That's up in the atmosphere, but that's some pretty strong wind, and some of that will mix to the ground, especially in those areas where the heavy rainfall is taking place. Let's see if we see any other areas of wind to be concerned about. I don't see anything up in Randolph. Now, that area I was just talking about down here in Coosa County around Kelly's Crossroads. There's a 49 right there. There's a 50. So you've got some winds running at about 50 miles per hour down here around Kelly's Crossroads as well. Pretty gusty up there around Hanover. Alexander City, you got some 30, 40 mile per hour winds aloft. Again, that doesn't mean that's making it to the ground, but these are winds moving away from the radar site. So at this point, they'd be out of the west, blowing to the east. I don't see anything else of any great concern there. So we'll go back to reflectivity. That's still a pretty significant looking cell right there in Clay County now near Shiloh. Just south of Central Clay County High School. Stretching back down to around Shiloh. This, of course, it's raining like cats and dogs up in Lineville and on Highway 48, but the area of the storm that could possibly be producing some hail is going to run south of Highway 48. This area that I'm circling. That's the area where we could be seeing some hail this morning. And we just got update. And let's put the storm tracks on. Take a second for that to update. All right, they're moving around 50 miles per hour to the east-northeast. So all right, here we go. Okay, here are the expected times. We're looking at Woodland at any moment. Wedowee Marine about 3:48. Malone around 3:48. Wedowee at 3:52. Wedowee at Humphrey Stadium around 3:52. Southern Union around 3:52. Dickard at 3:58. Roanoke at 4:04. Arrival time over in Franklin, Georgia, around 4:19. That would be 5:19 Eastern. Hogansville around 5:33 Eastern. And East Noonan around 5:41 Eastern this morning. Now, understand those are approximate times. They're not exact. Now, the heaviest part of that storm cell, here are the arrival times. Wedowee at 3:58. Ava Community around 3:59. Woodland around 4:05. Now, that's for the heaviest part of the cell. You see you got some stuff up there in Woodland now, but we're talking about this stuff that's over there just right extreme eastern Clay County, about to move into Randolph County now out there on the on Highway 48. And then over into the Franklin area by 527, Central Hatchie by 527, and Riverside by 527 as well. And hang on a second, I don't really like that. Let's take it more like so. Let's do one other thing too while we're at it. And let's run that again. I like that track a little better. So there are the times: Woodland at 4:02, Ephesus at 4:13, Central Hatchie around 5:22, Roopville around 5:22, Whitesburg at 5:37, and maybe over into the Newnan area by about 5:43. But we do not have any warnings, and that's the good thing. Turn the advisories back on. Yeah, the blue counties are counties that continue under a tornado watch until 6 a.m. in Alabama, 7 a.m. in Georgia. Miss Kay is reporting thunder in the mountain community of Clay County, no doubt. If you're traveling, Jennifer, if you're traveling from Wedowee to Ashland, right now is not the time. Because Highway 48 is a complete washout right this minute, right there on the Clay County, Randolph County line. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Look at that. I mean, sitting right on top of 48. There's Lineville over there to your left. And then Wedowee is back over here on the right-hand side of the screen. Turn the radar back on when you can see it. There's Wedowee. Right there. And this is Highway 48. And look at that right there, sitting right on top of Highway 48. That is extremely heavy rainfall and most likely some hail. New scan update now. It's still on 48, but it's in Randolph County up there near the Ophelia community. Just south and southwest of the Mad Indian Creek area. But you still see pinks and blues. That's an indication that there's probably some hail involved in it. So there is a stretch of Highway 48 there that's still covered up. And it's just raining. I mean, it's just absolutely a torrential downpour, basically between Wedowee and Lineville. So let's let this thing move through before you travel on Highway 48. Probably an hour from now, 5 o'clock, you'll be good to go. But right now, I would highly discourage any travel on Highway 48 between Lineville and Wedowee. Yeah, sorry about that, Kay. I don't know how it got knocked off, but I was busy looking at the monitor instead of what I should have been looking at. My bad. But if you're just joining us this morning, we're doing live coverage. Been going now for a couple of hours. 2 hours and 17 minutes and 27 seconds to be exact. Tornado warning, or tornado watch rather, was issued for Alabama and portions of west central Georgia, which prompted us to go on the air this morning. And we are watching this line of storms come through East Alabama. Those counties you see in blue are under a tornado watch in Alabama until 6 a.m. In Georgia, we really only have one county that we cover exclusively, and that's Carroll County, and that's in effect until 7 o'clock this morning. For the most part, the storms have behaved in most areas. The most recent warning was a tornado warning up in northwest Georgia, or west central Georgia, that set the sirens off in several counties for a possible tornado near Dallas. That has since, long since dissipated. No weather woes up there for now. But around 11:30 last night, we had what is an apparent tornado touchdown in Fultondale, Alabama. That is in North Jefferson County, a northern suburb of downtown Birmingham. There's the Hampton Inn. I just pray that there was no one in those rooms. That's incredible wind damage right there. And though the National Weather Service will certainly have to survey it to make it official, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that most likely is tornado damage. Again, thanks to my good buddy Lawrence down in Jackson County, Georgia, helping us out with some of these photographs coming out of Fultondale this morning. This photograph was actually provided by the Fultondale Fire Department. So that's pretty significant right there. Folks, I want to remind you again, if you'd like to support Dr. Don's weather page, it's really easy. Go to paypal.me/Dr. Don WX. We appreciate anything you can do to help us out. We depend on you and our partners to keep us going here at Dr. Don's weather page. There are costs involved, and without your support, we couldn't do this. We provide you with weather service that you're not going to get from the major metropolitan television stations because they can't do this. They cannot spend time on rural counties in East Alabama and West Georgia, but I can. I spent 22 years on the radio in East Alabama covering weather, and thanks to modern technology, I'm able to do it again. But to keep this going, and we are fastly approaching our second year, thanks to you. And to keep this going, we need your support. So please help us out if you can at paypal.me/Dr. Don WX. Another thing that you can do for us that is vitally important is to share Dr. Don's weather page with all of your friends and ask them to share with all of their friends. And their friends to share with their friends, and so forth and so on. If we can keep that going, then that helps our numbers grow, and that will get more folks watching Dr. Don's weather page, which will help us out also. I think we got a few gremlins going on this morning. I don't know. How my some stuff's getting all out of whack here for some reason. Okay. We can fix you, though, if you want to be contrary. Boom. You're gone. Hang with me. We're going to get it back now. So you're watching stuff happen live. That's one of the cool things about the way we do it here. Everything is live and in living color. So when stuff don't work, you get to see it live, and as well as stuff that does work, you see it live. All right, so heavy rainfall now into central Randolph County, leading edge of the line of storms now from about Woodland down to just south of Wedowee, down to Wadley, and then stretching back across northwest Tallapoosa County, down into southeastern Coosa County, and then all the way back down to around Thomasville. Nothing severe at the moment. No severe warnings in Alabama or Georgia. We do have a tornado watch, and that's the reason we are here. Miss Cecilia, if you don't do PayPal and you want to help us out, just send me a message on Facebook, and I'll tell you how we can make that happen. Just send us a message on Messenger, or send me an email, however you want to do it. All right, so I just turned my coffee cup over on the console, so y'all bear with me just a second. Let me run grab some paper towels, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the coffee cleaned up. I am back now. Good morning to you. If you have just joined us, we are on the air with live severe weather coverage this morning on Dr. Don's weather page, the Southern Union State Community College Severe Weather Center. And we are watching this line of storms move through East Alabama and West Georgia. We went under a tornado watch several hours ago, and that watch continues for those counties you see in blue. In Alabama and in Georgia, it is Carroll County. They're covered up pretty much with reflectivity, so it's kind of hard to see. Let me confirm that. Yes, Carroll County continues. Those counties you see in blue are under the tornado watch in Alabama until 6 Central, and in Georgia, that would be 7 o'clock Eastern. Now, we just got a note from the National Weather Service in their live chat room that says the three areas to keep an eye on right now are pretty much Randolph and, Randolph and Tallapoosa County. But now they have just canceled the tornado watch for Chilton, Cleburne, Marengo, Perry, and Talladega. So it'll take a few minutes for that to update on the screen. But you folks watching us over in Talladega County, you are now in the clear. Okay, and as soon as we get the line completely out of Clay, you'll go in the clear. And then so forth and so on until we get all the counties cleared. But the watch does continue for Coosa, Clay, and Randolph until we can get this line out of here. And we're going to take you back in close on Randolph County, because that's Randolph and Alexander City. Randolph County and down there in Tallapoosa County are where the two heaviest parts of this line are located right now. So we're going to spend a little time over here in Randolph, and then we'll go down to Tallapoosa County. All right, so we probably have got some small hail falling in the Woodland community, the town of Woodland right now, and to the communities just south of Woodland. Also, there around Napoleon, New Hope, Haywood. Pretty heavy stuff going on right there as well. And let's turn on let me turn off the advisories, and then we go back to NextRad Pro. All right, there's County Road 59. Probably got some hail right there. County Road 519. Down there in Napoleon, County Road 619. There's County Road 27. These are all counties in East Randolph County where we may be seeing some hail this morning. County Road 63. County Road 67. County Road 56. Anywhere east of New Hope, over to Napoleon, down to Haywood. You could be anywhere you see the pinks and the blues flashing. We could be looking at some hail right there. You folks down here in Big Springs and Potash, it's raining like crazy, but the hail shaft hasn't gotten to you just yet. I'm going to turn those markers back on too. We'll see. Take a second for that to pop up. County Road 42. County Road 692 down there at Roxton. County Road 45. Just picking out some areas where we could be seeing some hail this morning. County Road 620. And then the leading edge stretches from High Shoals on down to just east of Crystal Lake. There's Highway 431. County Road 61 just north of Roanoke. County Road 26, heavy rainfall. County Road 823. Heavy rainfall down back over toward Mount Olive, down to Dickert, Wadley, Corinth, Malone. Pamela says it's just started raining in Dickert. Heavy rainfall, according to Cassandra, in Haywood community. Just got to Omaha. And you see the leading edge of it there, just getting into extreme northwest Chambers County. Now back over into Tallapoosa County, just north of Davidston, just to the east of New Site, right there, Chapel Road. And Highway 22 is where the leading edge of the storm is for now. There's State Route 49. All the way down to Jackson Gap. Now, we've got a good bit of heavy precipitation down here in Tallapoosa County, now just to the east of Alexander City. Still raining pretty good in Alexander City, but the heaviest of it is now to your east. It's down there on 280 between Alexander City and Jackson's Gap. This is in Tallapoosa County, County Road 83. Along Highway 280 near Countryside Road, Wind Creek State Park, all the way down to Our Town. This is all very heavy rainfall, and there could be some small hail mixed in with it as well. Stretching down to Kalijah, down to central Alabama, getting down into Elmore County, and then down to Deatsville. Just north of Autaugaville in Autauga County, just to the northwest of Prattville. And then we get on down there into Dallas County. Heavy rain now around Selma, down to Oroville, out Highway 22. Just to the west of Camden, Thomasville, and then back into Mississippi. But no question, the heaviest areas right now are in eastern Randolph County and also down there in Tallapoosa County near Dadeville. National Weather Service, let's see. All right, so the National Weather Service has now canceled the tornado watch in Georgia for Carroll, Cobb, Douglas, and Paulding. So I believe that takes all of the Georgia counties out of the tornado watch. They're also issuing a significant weather advisory for western Coweta, northern Troup, and Heard counties until 5:45 a.m. this morning. And that's going to be for that stuff coming out of Randolph County. Let's go back to Randolph. So you can see where the heaviest rainfall is in Randolph right now. It's right along actually down with the latest scan, it's the northern edge of it has actually moved into west central Georgia into Heard County from Ephesus down Highway 100 down to just north of Franklin. Then stretches back into Randolph County near Potash and down to High Shoals. Then the heavy rain now moving into Roanoke. And a lot of you are confirming what we're looking at on the radar, getting reports from all of these areas talking about very heavy rainfall, gusty winds. I have not seen any ground truth confirmation of hail. So if anybody is seeing some hail, let me know. All right, I need to flush this queue right quick, so let me clear all layers. Okay, bear with me, folks. Again, we are using, I'll tell you what, let's go back to Peachtree City. We're using a beta version of this software. We're testing it, and it offers a lot of really cool stuff, but it's also a little buggy, and it is crashing on me a little bit. So occasionally I have to reload, and so that's where we are. So, all right. So this is the situation. We'll set it up for you. A significant weather advisory has just been issued for northeastern Tallapoosa and Chambers County until 5 a.m. this morning. Significant weather advisory in effect at 4:13 a.m. Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Jackson's Gap, or 7 miles north of Dadeville. We've been talking about that storm. Moving east at 55 miles per hour. Pea-sized hail and winds in excess of 40 miles per hour will be possible with this storm. Locations in the path of this storm include Valley, Lynette, Dadeville, Camp Hill, Lafayette, Stroud, Jackson's Gap, new site, Post Oak Forks, Amity Park, Standing Rock, Welch, Trammell Crossroads, Buffalo, Chambers County Lake, and Fredonia. So that is going to be for this area down here. Coming up on Buxton, we had some Buxton folks in there a few moments ago asking. This is knocking on your door. So let's see. This is just a significant weather advisory. Now, this is not a warning. And there are your arrival times And again, understand these are approximate. Dadeville at 416, that's like right now. Budston at 417. Pennant at 425. 5 Points at 433. Lafayette at 434. Stroud around 434. Fredonia at 438. Standing Rock at 440. Holiday Park at around 445. And LaGrange by about 558 Eastern. This is a significant weather advisory for winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour. Along this line of thunderstorms that's moving across eastern Tallapoosa, about to move into western Chambers County, and will continue to move off to the northeast. Question here, is Alexander City out of severe now? Yes, Mal. Alexander City is in the clear. Summer Johnson says it has made it to her house. Okay, Dana says that she does have hail. So Dana, kind of tell us exactly where you are. I mean, don't give me your address, but give me a good location on where you are. And you may have already posted that, and it's up. If it's up there on the thread, I don't see it. So let me know where you are. All right, Dana Brooks says that they're getting it now in Daviston. Heavy rain and wind in Frog Eye. Understand Bernie made a visit to Frog Eye today. Down at Miss Mary's. Wedowa, you're in the clear. Woodland, you're in the clear. Graham, you're in the clear. If you are along Highway 431 from about Needham's Hill north in Randolph County, you're in the clear. The leading edge of the line now moving right along Needham's Hill back up to just south of Woodland and points south. Is where the line is now, and it's moving off to the east. The absolute heaviest of that storm that was in Randolph is now over in Heard County, just encroaching on Franklin now. Lots of thunder and lightning and heavy rain in Roanoke, Rock Mills, about to move into the Lime community. And the National Weather Service has issued a special weather statement for this segment of the line that's in extreme eastern Tallapoosa, about to move into western Chambers. Okay, so the hail report from Dana. Dana is on the Tallapoosa River in Budston, and she says it's pea-sized hail. Okay. All right, so that's good information to know. So back over here to Budston, you see those small areas of pink there on the radar, and that's where we are seeing some hail this morning. So that's good, Dana. Thank you for that report. Roanoke should be in the clear by 5:45, Kim. Kim's asking what will it look like in Roanoke by 5:45. You should be good by that time. Again, for those of you that are getting rocked out of the bed this morning and just joining us, we've been on now for 2 hours and 49 minutes. A tornado watch was issued by the Storm Prediction Center about 3 hours ago, and it covered a good chunk of central and east Alabama and portions of west Georgia. We have seen a possible tornado touchdown in Fultondale, Alabama. That's in North Jefferson County, just north of Birmingham, with what appears to be significant damage. And we understand that there are injuries. Of particular note, a Hampton Inn was pretty much destroyed there in Fultondale. So let's remember Fultondale, Alabama, and our thoughts and prayers this morning as the cleanup and rescue mission is underway over there now. That same storm cell prompted a tornado warning up in Cherokee County as it crossed into Georgia, and then another tornado warning was issued for a possible tornado near Dallas, Georgia. It set the sirens off up there around Kennesaw, Marietta, Milton, Roswell, but the storm quickly died once it got into Georgia, and has since moved on off into East Georgia and didn't cause any more problems. So the only damage, significant damage that we know about is up there in Fultondale in North Jefferson County, just north of Birmingham. But so we've been under a tornado watch all this time, and now the National Weather Service is holding on to Randolph, Tallapoosa, and Chambers in Alabama. They have let Carroll County expire in Georgia. So we only have just a couple of counties that remain under a tornado watch in East Alabama. As soon as those counties are clear, then we will end this morning's broadcast. But we're going to stay with this until we get these storms out of Alabama and through west central Georgia, or until the tornado watch is canceled, whichever comes first. Kayla's asking the question, anything other than rain and thunder in Carrollton? Not now. Carrollton is pretty much in the clear, maybe down there in the extreme southern part of Carroll County around Roopville. You still got some thunder and lightning going on, but up there in Carrollton all the way back up to I-20, you're looking good. Zoom out. You're rain-free in most sections of northwest Georgia now. The line has cleared the northern burbs of Atlanta. We're now looking at heavy rain over on 285 on the southwest side of town, and also out there around Stone Mountain, back over toward Athens and Elberton. That will continue moving off to the northeast. Most of our North Georgia mountain counties are in the clear now. So all we're waiting on is for this line that stretches from about Eclectic in Alabama up through Roanoke, up through Franklin in Georgia, and into southern Carroll County. We're just waiting for this line to clear the area. Then the tornado watch will be brought down, and we can go back to our normal lives. Now, what we're going to do once we get cleared of the threat of severe weather, I'm going to run the futurecast for you so I can show you what we're going to be dealing with tonight and tomorrow. We may be doing this exact same thing again tomorrow morning because we're going to have a warm front lift up from the south this evening that could set the stage for more severe thunderstorms during the overnight hours tonight into first part of Wednesday morning. So we will do that in just a few moments. Jay's asking the question, is Roanoke going to get more than just rain, or is it going to get worse? Well, the line is clearing Roanoke now. You're not completely out of the woods yet, but in the next 15, 20 minutes, I think Roanoke will be clear. So we're right this moment. There is nothing severe in the Roanoke area. But until this line completely clears the area, we can't give you the all clear. So we'll just watch this together. All right, got somebody asking me about driving to Ashland. And you can see over here in Clay County, we're good. I mean, the back edge of the line has completely moved out of Clay County. There's a little light rain that continues out there on Lineville back into Randolph County, but Travel back over into Clay County is fine right now and should only improve as we go throughout the next couple of hours. Alexander City to Montgomery, yes. Yes, you'll be fine. I'm assuming that you will run 22 down to Wetumpka and then go into Montgomery. That route is fine. There's a little rain still left over down there, but nothing severe. I would not advise driving 280 from Dadeville down to Auburn. That little stretch there between Dadeville and Camp Hill, or Dadeville and Waverly. We've still got a pretty significant thunderstorm right there. But if you're traveling Alexander City to Montgomery via 22 down to Opelika or even over to Rockford and then down, you'll be just fine. And maybe some ponding on the roadways, so be careful, but there's no severe weather over there. All right, here's the latest timing on the heaviest part of this cell. It'll be in White Plains at 428, Markouth around 428 this morning, Stroud at 430, 5 Points around 430, Buffalo at around 431, Lafayette about 435 this morning, Fredonia around 435, Holiday Park at 442. Be out there around the Kia Motors plant around 550 Eastern. And LaGrange around 4:55 this morning, or 5:55 Eastern, I should say. That's the heaviest part of this line, and we do have a significant weather advisory in effect for this line of thunderstorms as it moves through Chambers County. Now about to move into central Chambers County, moving off to the east-northeast, around 40 to 50 miles per hour. Again, folks, I'd like to encourage you to help us out if you can at paypal.me/Dr. Don WX. We depend on your support to be able to continue to do this. We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary. Seems like we just started this yesterday. But the only reason we've been able to continue this is because of your support and our partners that keep us going. And we appreciate everything you do and ask that you would continue to help us. You can go to any of our videos on Dr. Don's weather page, and at the top of our weather videos there, you will see links. The very first one will carry you over to paypal.me/Dr. Don WX, and you can send us a support. Now, you don't even have to have a PayPal account to do this, so we ask that you do us. It's quick, it's fast, it's secure, and we appreciate everything you can do because we depend on your support to be able to keep this going. Now, if you're just not a PayPal type person or you don't like doing things online like that, that's perfectly fine. You can send me a text message. You can send me a message on Messenger. You can just respond to this video live this morning and tell me that you want to get in touch with me. However you want to do it, just get in touch with me and I'll tell you what the other options are if you'd like to support Dr. Don's weather page. We really do appreciate it. Some other things you can do that will help us out tremendously is share Dr. Don's weather page with your friends and ask your friends to share with their friends and their friends to share with their friends and so on and so forth. That increases our numbers and that helps us out also. And on the top of all of our videos, the second link from the top will be a link that carries you over to our YouTube page. And the reason that's important, even if you don't watch us on YouTube, it's still a good idea to go there and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on that little notification bell, because YouTube uses a totally different method of sending out notifications when we go live. Facebook does not always notify you as timely as I wish they would during severe weather. Sometimes you just don't see those notifications instantly. But now, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you will get what's called a push notification, which means you'll get notified immediately when we go live for severe weather. So even if you don't watch us on YouTube, go over there and subscribe to our channel and click on that little notification bell so that when we do go live, you'll be guaranteed to get a push notification that we are live and broadcasting severe weather. We appreciate everything that you guys do to support us. You know, here's the cool part about what we do. You're just as big a part of this as I am or anybody else. You can become part of our team. I've got folks that go out there and look for video and photographs of damage during severe weather, and they send them to me, and I share with you. You know, this is pretty much a one-person show here. Producer Tracy generally does assist as best she can, but this time of morning, that's not going to happen. Producer Tracy is knocked out. So it takes a lot of folks to make all this happen and happen quickly. So I appreciate my good buddy down there in Jefferson County, Georgia, Lawrence, who's been sending me photographs out of Fultondale, Alabama. You know, that's the cool part about this. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be a part of our what we do here, Dr. Don's weather page. With modern technology like it is, I could be sitting in Moose Jaw, Alaska, and still be able to do this with all of the tools that I have at my fingertips. So be a part of it. We love to see your weather photographs and weather video. Now, we do not want you to go out and put yourself in danger, by no means. We want you to be safe, but if you see something happening weather-wise that is of interest, whether it's severe weather or beautiful weather or snowy weather, or whatever the case may be, send them to me. Send them to me on Messenger. That's the absolute best way to get stuff to me. And I'll share them here on Dr. Don's weather page, and you will be a part of this team just like anybody else. We want you. We welcome you. We ask you to get involved and help us out by sharing Dr. Don's weather page and funnel information to us when you see us go live for severe weather. We appreciate that. Sharon, you're down there in Alexander City, and yes, you are good to go to bed. I mean, there's still some heavy rain down there in spots, and you can't rule out a lightning strike or two down there in Alexander City, but you're well behind the line now, so you're good to go. Folks over there in Budston, you're good to go. Daviston, you can go to bed. New Site, Jackson Gap, Dadeville, Our Town, Stillwaters, you can go to bed. Camp Hill, I would hang on just a few more minutes. If you're in Central or Eastern Chambers County, stay weather aware for a few more minutes. Milltown, you're good. Wadley, you're good. Malone, Dickert, Roanoke, hang on a few more minutes. High Shoals, you're good. Potash, Woodland, Wedowee, Graham, Hawk, all those areas are good to go now. You're behind the line. Clay County is completely behind the line. So basically from Roanoke to 5 Points to Lafayette down to Bama Park, that's where the heaviest part of this storm is in Alabama. In Georgia, stretching from about Highway 109 at the Alabama state line, back up to near Hogansville, just to the east of Franklin, just to the west of Moreland, and up to around Whitesburg, Palmetto along I-85, and moving off to the east. So if you're to the right side of that line of thunderstorms right there, then you need to stay on your P's and Q's until we get the line through your area. All right, National Weather Service is issuing a severe thunderstorm warning now. This is for Coweta and Fayette counties in Georgia. So that would be Noonan and points east. At 5:34 a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Noonan, moving east at around 50 miles per hour. The hazard with this storm is 60 mile per hour wind gust, and it is radar indicated. So for Noonan and points east, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect. Let's go back over here to the Birmingham site because there's some verbiage on here I wanted to look at. All right, they're saying that Coosa County is pretty much done with severe weather threat, and they're holding on for a few more minutes for Randolph County to clear completely, and then they're going to take Coosa and Randolph out of the tornado watch. So Randolph County, you're just about out of this. East of Roanoke over to the state line and down to Bacon Level, Rock Mills, this extreme southeast corner of Randolph County, from Center Chapel down to Rock Mills to Bacon Level, you still have a severe threat for just a few more minutes. Once this red stuff moves on over into Georgia, then Randolph County is going to be released from the watch, and Coosa County will go with it at the same time. Chambers County, probably going to hang on to Chambers County for about another 30 minutes till we can get this line completely out of Chambers. And you'll remember that Troup County is not in the tornado watch. So as soon as we get Randolph, Coosa, and Chambers released, we will be able to call it a night and get ready for what may be coming tonight into tomorrow morning. We may very well be doing this again. So turning the watches and warnings back on, there's the tornado watch for Randolph. There's the tornado watch for Coosa. Special weather statement for Tallapoosa and special weather statement for Chambers. So Tallapoosa and Chambers never did go under the tornado watch. Troup County did not either. So Coosa County and Randolph are the only two counties we have that remain under the tornado watch. And maybe Clay officially, but Clay's completely out of it. Coosa is too, for the most part. So really just a little bitty spot there in extreme southeast Randolph, and then central Chambers County are the only areas we're concerned about right now. That little spot up there in northern Troup County. And this whole line will move across Troup County as it moves off to the east. Brandy Carden asking a question about Rock Mills, and I can tell you that things should be in the process of improving in Rock Mills right now. Rock Mills is out there on the very back side of this line of storms. So we're going to watch this for just a few more moments. Then I'm going to run the Futurecast radar for you so we can see what may be coming down the line tonight. I'm going to pull up another product. It'll show us the same thing. Let's run that one. Let's go back over here and grab. All right, so the National Weather Service has just canceled the tornado watch for Clay and Coosa counties and continues the tornado watch for Randolph until 6 a.m. So Clay and Coosa, you are now in the clear. Randolph, we're going to hold on to you for just a few more minutes, but I can tell you for all practical purposes, Randolph, you're in the clear too. As you've only got one little bitty smidgen down there in extreme southeast Randolph County that still has any thunderstorm coverage at all. But officially, Randolph County continues under the watch until 6 a.m. That should be canceled here in just a few moments also. Okay. Yeah, just bear with me. I'm looking, gonna scan and see if I got some really weird stuff happening this morning that just doesn't happen any other time. You go live, and if it can happen to you, it will. Fultondale Mayor Larry Holcomb said that the city has received about 20 reports of minor injuries, including scratches and bruises after the storm. They're saying now the storm actually hit around 10:30 p.m. A quarter-mile wide path. Why, I'm sorry to report. Latest reports, and this is according to AL.com, Fultondale tornado kills 1, critically injures several others. So according to AL.com, we do have at least 1 reported fatality in Fultondale. This is an article filed by Carol Robinson on AL.com. A reported tornado ripped through Fultondale on Monday night, killing one person, critically injuring several others, and leaving a path of destruction in its wake. Fultondale Mayor Larry Holcomb said the storm, which hit the northern Jefferson County city about 10:30, cut a quarter-mile wide path after touching down near Interstate I-65. It moved northeast toward Fultondale High School, where there is substantial damage. Multiple businesses such as Hearst Towing and the Hampton Inn were destroyed, as well as most everything in between. There was a death reported shortly after 3 a.m. this morning. Fultondale Police Chief D.P. Smith said a young man, possibly a teen, was killed when he was trapped in the basement of his home off of Newcastle Road. The family had taken shelter in the basement, but it appeared a tree fell on the home and caused the house to collapse. As of 3 a.m., the Jefferson County Coroner's Office was still en route to the scene. Several of Smith's family members were critically injured. At least a half dozen other people were transported to area hospitals. The non-critical injuries included some broken bones. So that's sad news coming out of Fultondale this morning. Apparently there has been a fatality. I'm just looking at some video there. That's not really showing anything. So again, sad news coming out of Fultondale. Keep the Fultondale community in your thoughts and prayers this morning as they are recovering from a tragic situation happened around 10:30 last night. And you know, sometimes you do all you can do. And sometimes that just isn't enough. But most of the time, the overwhelming majority of the time, if you do exactly what that family did, you will survive severe storms. When you get a significant tree that falls on your home, if you happen to be directly under where that tree falls, there's not a whole lot that can be done to protect you. But going to the lowest floor in your home or place of business is certainly the best idea. All right, so let's go back and look at what's happening now on the radar as we have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 5:15 a.m. this morning for Coweta County. Significant weather advisory continues for Troup County until 4:45. I'm sorry, expires at 5:45 this morning. And then 5 o'clock Central, which is about another 11 minutes or so, we have a special weather statement in effect for Chambers County. So Chambers County in Alabama is where the action is right now, and Troup County in Georgia, and then also up there in Coweta County. But in Alabama, in Chambers County, the storm now from 431 off to the east, out there on Highway 50. The ride from Lafayette over to Lynette, not a good one right now. There's a lot of rain out there on Highway 50. And we're going to go in a little bit closer. Basically from Holiday Park down to Lafayette and to the east is where the heaviest rainfall is. County Road 210, this is Chambers County. out there around State Route 50 and 69th Avenue Southwest. I'm not sure why we're doing that. Chambers County Road 84. I'm just picking out some roads right there along the leading edge of this line of thunderstorms. Then you get on down there to around Oak Bowery and down just south of Waverly. Valley, it hadn't got to you just yet, but it's on the way. Casita, you'll get it on the action here in a little bit as well. Gonna turn the advisories off. That's causing me some problems here. All right, that's a little better. Coming up on 5 o'clock, it's 4:52 Central, 5:52 Eastern. Dr. Don with you in the Southern Union State Community College Severe Weather Center. We've been on the air now for 3 hours and 21 minutes and 24 seconds. Covering the possibility of severe weather across East Alabama. We have been very fortunate in that we haven't seen any of our storms go severe in our immediate coverage area. Tragically, we are learning of one fatality that took place in Fultondale, Alabama this morning. The fatality was reported at around 3 a.m. this morning from an apparent tornado that ripped through the Fultondale community around 10:30 last night. Fultondale is just north of Birmingham in northern Jefferson County. About somewhere around 20 injuries and one fatality now being reported out of Fultondale. But as far as we know, that's the only area that we have seen where we have seen significant damage. We even had tornado warnings right along the Alabama-Georgia state line a couple of hours after that. And then a couple of hours ago, we had a tornado warning in northwest Georgia, actually West Georgia, just north of I-20. For a possible tornado near Dallas that was moving off to the east-northeast, but that did not produce any damage. And since that time, we have not had any warnings other than the severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for Coweta County, but now the National Weather Service has allowed that to expire as well. Now, what's going to happen as this line of storms moves on over into Georgia? I saw a question there about Valdosta. You know, we're going to have to keep an eye on this because we're going to start getting some heating of the day over there in Georgia. And we're still several hours away from this line making it to Valdosta. If it does, there's some evidence to suggest that this line of storms is going to stall out just south of I-85. So we're going to run the Futurecast radar in just a few moments and see what we'll find out what happens down here in South Georgia later today. We're just waiting for this line to clear Troop in Chambers County, and then I'm going to run the Futurecast radar as we clean up this morning and get ready to put this event to bed. And we will have another round tonight. And when we run the Futurecast, we'll be able to see if we think it's going to be significant or not. But I can tell you what is significant. If you're on I-85 anywhere from Peachtree City to Auburn, Alabama, you got a mess. It is coming a gully washer along I-85 all the way from Peachtree City down to around Auburn. Thank you, Josh Caldwell. I appreciate those kind words, my friend. I appreciate all you guys. I mean, we've had a lot of folks in here with us this morning. Of course, a lot of you got rumbled out of bed this morning with thunder and lightning, I understand. But we appreciate you turning to Dr. Don's weather page for weather information. As I've said several times already this morning, we are coming up on our 2-year anniversary of doing live weather for you. We do a daily weather forecast. It's called PrimeTime. We typically get that weather forecast out to you by about 6 or 7 o'clock every morning. And then we go live during severe weather events. And occasionally we do specials if we know that we're going into a weather event, whether it be severe weather or winter weather. And we try to keep you updated on what's going on there in East Alabama and West Georgia. Those are our 2 primary coverage areas. But now if we have life-threatening weather taking place anywhere in central Alabama over into central Georgia, we'll cover it. It's just that our primary home counties are East Alabama and West Georgia, basically between I-20 and I-85 and east of I-65 in Alabama, all the way up to Atlanta Metro in west central Georgia, and even down into the Columbus, Pine Mountain area as well. So we invite you to share Dr. Don's weather page with all of your friends. Ask them to share with their friends and their friends to share with their friends. And, well, you get the idea. The more people we share it with and the more people that go over there and like Dr. Don's weather page, the more our numbers increase. And that helps us. So if you have not already done so, please like Dr. Don's weather page and then share it with your friends and ask them to like it. And ask them to share it with their friends and ask their friends to like it. Dr. Don's weather page, and then we also have 3 weather groups that we operate. We have an East Alabama weather group, a Central Alabama weather group, and a North Georgia weather group. So we also invite you to go over there and request to be members of those groups. Sometimes the weather does not affect everybody, so we have 3 subgroups that we will post weather information in those groups when there are events that affect a smaller area. So it's a good idea to like and share Dr. Don's weather page and request to be a member of the weather group that covers your area. And share that with your friends as well. That way you'll be covered. And then head over to YouTube and like our weather channel on YouTube, Dr. Don's weather page on YouTube, so that you get a push notification from YouTube when we go live. You do all of that and get yourself a weather radio, and you'll be ready to go next time we have severe weather across East Alabama and West Georgia. There's Brittany Hood. She's in here with us this morning. She's from Noonan. Said the storm woke her up. And she came straight to our weather page. Well, thank you, Brittany. I appreciate you coming straight to Dr. Don's weather page. And we were talking about that storm in Noonan when the severe thunderstorm warning was issued just a few moments, well, about 30 minutes ago now. That has since expired. And as you can see, the line of storms, all but out of Coweta County now. Maybe just small part of the southern sections of Coweta County still with some heavy rain there. But the city of Noonan is just fine now. It's just light rainfall. And the line has moved east of you, so the severe weather threat has subsided as well. So we're waiting on official word from the National Weather Service where they have removed Randolph County from the tornado watch. I can tell you, Randolph County, you have no real threat of severe weather up there right now, as the line has pushed well off to your south and east. But we're going to hang on here until we get the official word from the National Weather Service. And that'll be our last county that remains under the tornado watch. And what we'll do as soon as we get Randolph County released, I'll go over there and run the model. It'll take just a minute to get the thing to loop up. And okay, now Randolph has been cleared. Just got the word from the National Weather Service. They must be watching us over there at the Shelby County Airport this morning. But yeah, Randolph County has now been cleared from the tornado watch. So that means that we no longer have any counties of East Alabama or West Georgia covered under a tornado watch. Let me zoom out. Let's look at the big picture. And then we'll run over there and run that model for you. Let me take that off. Let's go back to the composite and zoom out. And this will show the entire southeastern United States. And you can see that this line of thunderstorms that's clearing East Alabama now stretches really from Virginia Beach all the way down to around Charlotte, North Carolina, down to just north of Atlanta, down through east central Alabama, Montgomery, and then down to southern Mississippi, just north of New Orleans, and then back out into the Gulf of Mexico there, just south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. So this is a large line of thunderstorms that have really been affecting a large area of the southeastern United States all morning. But again, zooming back in, the heaviest part of the line right now is going to be that part that moved through Coweta County earlier. But overall, this line is weakening as it moves off to the east. We still have some heavy rain falling there in LaGrange back down to around Lynette. But this is not severe. It's just heavy rainfall with occasional lightning strike and heavy rain moving through. Moving directly over the radar site right there at Peachtree City, the National Weather Service office there at Peachtree City. All right, so here we go. This is going to take just a second, and we're just going to kind of do this together. And let's see if this is going to work. All right, we're going to start over. I think I'm going to have to go back to the certified version and not the beta because it's just giving me some issues. It's coming back. All right, let's go to, we want Futurecast. Models, and we want reflectivity, and we want to start this. What time y'all want to start the loop at? Let's run this from 12 noon today, and we'll run it all the way out to today is Tuesday. Thursday. We'll run this out to Thursday at 12 noon. Now, it's going to take a minute for this thing to load up. So we'll just kind of watch it load up as it goes live. Now, while it's doing that, and this is the Futurecast that we're about to take a look at so we can see what's going to happen tonight into tomorrow. So while that is loading, let me go back over here and once again lobby you for your support because there's a lot that goes on that it does cost money. There are a lot of subscriptions. This radar system that we're using, which is the same thing that the major television networks use, all these things cost money. So we ask for your support. And it doesn't, dollar amount's not the issue. It's just we ask that you help us out all you can and as often as you can. That along with our partners is what keeps us going. So we appreciate anything you can do for us. And you can do it by going to paypal.me/Dr. Don WX. It's quick, it's fast, it's secure, and you can trust this. It's paypal.me/Dr. Don WX. And help us out any way that you possibly can. And if you don't do the internet thing, if you don't do stuff like this, then just send me a message on Messenger, and I'll tell you how you can support Dr. Don's weather page. We have other options, and I'll tell you how to go about doing that. If you'll send me a private message, I'll tell you what you need to do to get support to us if you'd like to support us. And they would ask that you share Dr. Don's weather page, that you like it first, and then share it with your friends, and ask them to share it with their friends, and for them to like it. And so we can get Dr. Don's weather page out there to all the folks across East Alabama and West Georgia. We appreciate any help you can give us. We like to consider all of our viewers as part of our team here at Dr. Don's weather page as well. Let's see here. I'm just looking at a tweet that James Spann is sending out this morning. Wow. He's got a friend that lives in Fultondale, and they lost their home last night. James says that they heard the warning and got into their safe place. Says the family is fine, but the pets did not survive. That's sad. So it's becoming more and more apparent that the damage in Fultondale is very widespread and pretty significant. All right, so let me go back and get this loop ready, and what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take a look at the Southern Union State Community College Futurecast radar, and yeah, we're gonna do it on the live side, so it's gonna say live Doppler radar, but this is a Futurecast model, okay? And so this starts at 5 o'clock this morning. And you can see the showers beginning to move out down there to the southeast. Radar, this model is showing a little more activity over there in Mississippi than's actually out there right now. So that may be overdone just a little bit. But then as we move on into the afternoon, there were questions about Georgia. There's some heavy storms over there around Vidalia. Don't see much going on down there around Valdosta. But then as we go on into late afternoon, that stuff down there around Vidalia continues to lift to the north. And then as we get to around 8 p.m. tonight, not much happening across East Alabama and West Georgia. But you see the showers beginning to pick up in coverage across South Central Alabama as we head toward 10:35 this evening. Wait a minute, this is confusing. Let me let me start over, folks, because having both of those times up there was confusing. Here are the model times. We start at noon today. This is at 12 noon today. See a few heavier thunderstorms down there around Andalusia and Crestview. And then as we go throughout the day, that stuff will kind of lift to the north and to the northeast. A few scattered showers this afternoon across East Alabama and West Georgia. No big deal. Heavier storms over there in South Georgia from Vidalia back down to Albany. Then as we get into the late afternoon hours, that stuff continues over there around I-16 in Georgia. Heavier showers across North Alabama, much like yesterday. Pretty decent across East Alabama from I-20 down to I-85. And then as we get into the overnight hours, this is at 9:30 tonight, Tuesday night. Then here we go at 10:30 tonight. And then by midnight tonight, you start to see some yellows and oranges popping up, and some showers filling in there across Clay County and Chambers County. And then as we go on through the wee hours of tomorrow morning, we start to see a line of storms trying to form back over there along I-20 from Birmingham back down to around Meridian. And you see those storms slowly increase in coverage and intensity as we head toward 4/18 Wednesday morning. We start to get some of those storms into Clay County and Talladega and back over there around Coosa County. And then by 5:15 tomorrow morning, that is exactly 24 hours from right now, we have a line of thunderstorms that will move through East Alabama and West Georgia. Now, as you always hear me say, this is a model, so exact placement don't pay attention to that. This line of thunderstorms could form and move through 2 hours earlier than this time or 2 hours later than this time. So exact timing and placement is not exact on a model. This just kind of gives you an overall general idea of what we're going to be looking at tomorrow morning, and it's telling us we're going to have a line of thunderstorms. It's going to stretch pretty much along the exact same areas as what we saw this morning. Now, will the atmosphere be more conducive for severe weather tomorrow morning than it was this morning? Well, we will be able to better answer that question after we see the balloon releases this morning from Birmingham and from Atlanta. So later on today, we'll have a much better idea. How much did this morning's storms disrupt the atmosphere? How much can it recover before this line of storms moves through on Wednesday morning? These are all questions we cannot answer. And if anybody tries to tell you what's going to happen tomorrow morning right now, they're blowing wind at you, because we got to see the balloon releases. We got to see what the upper levels of the atmosphere looks like to even have an idea of what may actually happen tomorrow morning. But the models are telling us that we're going to have a line of thunderstorms. How strong, how severe, how much severe weather we're looking at, we can't tell you that. So let's run this on out. This again is at 5:15 tomorrow morning, exactly 24 hours from now. Then we go out there to 6:16, and we see that line moving through Clay and Randolph, down into Coosa, Tallapoosa, Chambers, even over into West Georgia. And then by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, we still got some pretty good storms going on. Look at that stuff over there in Georgia now. It really blows up when it gets into Georgia. Scattered showers and thunderstorms just numerous. From Atlanta back over to Columbia, South Carolina, down around I-20, out I-16. And that stuff continues to move on off to the east. We're getting in to the noon hour on Wednesday now. Here's 12 noon, and then here's 1 o'clock. One last push of rain. This will be wraparound moisture that will come through here around 2 o'clock. There's 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. There's 3:50. And here we go at about 5 o'clock Wednesday. We start to get the tail end of all the rain out of here. And then Thursday, we go back to mostly sunny skies. It's going to be beautiful on Thursday and Friday. I think Saturday is going to be nice. It's going to be much cooler than what we've seen the last couple of days. And then another storm system comes in here late Saturday, maybe into Sunday, and brings us another round of showers and possible thunderstorms. So let's just take one last look. Well, wait a minute. We've got a... All right, that's a severe thunderstorm warning. Let me take the storm tracks off so we can see that a little bit better. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. Bear with me. Why this thing is maximizing so big. All right, this is a severe thunderstorm warning, which was issued at 6:09 which was about 7 minutes ago. This was issued by the National Weather Service in Peachtree City. This is the same cell that prompted the severe thunderstorm warning for Coweta County earlier. Severe thunderstorm warning for Spalding County in west central Georgia and southeastern Fayette County in north central Georgia. This is until 7 a.m. Eastern. At 6:09, a severe thunderstorm was located over Lake Horton, or 9 miles west of Griffin, moving to the east at around 40 miles per hour. The hazard with this storm is 60 mile per hour wind gust, and it is a radar indicated severe storm. So again, that is Spalding and southeastern Fayette County. And the radar is saying that there is a little rotation with that storm too. But looking back over here in our coverage area, the rain is just about completely out of Troup County now. Chambers County, other than right down there along I-85, from Lynette down to Opelika and Auburn. Still raining there, but you're looking good. Line of showers now moving down into northern Harris County along I-185 from Pine Mountain over to Blanton. Still some rain down there in Notasulga, Auburn, Opelika, pouring down there right now, but nothing severe. All watches have been canceled for Alabama and Georgia. We have a lone severe thunderstorm warning for Spalding and Fayette County over in Georgia, just south of Atlanta, for that thunderstorm cell that's moving off to the east. So with all of that, we are going to wrap this up. And just looking at some comments right here real quick before I wrap this up. And Chance, that is an automated thing that comes from FEMA. And the National Weather Service has canceled the tornado watch for Randolph County. But apparently FEMA hasn't got that notification just yet. So they're still sending out their automated information, which suggests that the watch continues until 6 a.m. this morning. But Randolph County has been canceled. So Randolph County is no longer under a tornado watch. National Weather Service canceling that watch about 15 minutes ago. Thank you, Teresa Kirby. Appreciate your kind words. Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate you watching us down in the big metropolis of 5 Points, Alabama. Boy, I spent many years in the woods down there in 5 Points. Back in my deer hunting days. I'm a deer lover now. I feed them out of my hand on my front porch. I can't shoot them anymore. But boy, I spent many an hour in the wood down there in 5 Points, Alabama. Tiny, thank you. Diane, thank you so much. You know what? Diane is such a sweetheart. I promise you, probably... Well, as far as I know, every single weather post I put out there on Facebook, every single one of them, Miss Diane says thank you. And I appreciate her taking the time to do that. And it's not necessary for everyone to do that, but it is pretty cool that she doesn't miss anything. She says thank you to every post I put out there, and I appreciate it, Miss Diane. I really do. Sabrina Calhoun, she says, my first time here. I'm so shocked the local news stations aren't live covering the storm. I'm from Birmingham and used to live coverage during severe weather like this. Sabrina, I'm not really sure exactly where you are, but I'm assuming that you're in Georgia, and you're probably up there just outside the perimeter up there where the tornado warning was issued this morning that set off the sirens up there around Kennesaw back down to around Dallas. And so what happened was the sirens they issue the tornado warning, the National Weather Service did. The sirens go off, wake up millions of people, and then within 5 or 10 minutes after the sirens were activated, the storm started weakening and dropped below tornado limits. And so they replaced the tornado warning with a severe thunderstorm warning. And then very shortly after that, the storm just completely played out, and we lost the severe thunderstorm warning. Well, the metro television stations, their threshold for severe weather coverage is, if there's not a warning in place, they're not going to do wall-to-wall coverage. So the second we lost that severe thunderstorm warning, and some of them, as soon as we lost the tornado warning, went back to regular programming, and they were just scrolling at the bottom of the screen. But certainly when we lost the severe thunderstorm warning, all Atlanta television stations went back to regular programming. So some of you were still stumbling around in the dark trying to get your senses about you because you got rocked out of the bed because of that horrible sounding siren, and by the time you got to the television and got it turned on, there was no coverage. So I'm just kind of, this is a particular situation, and I think that's how that happened this morning, because I've had multiple people jump in here and say that they saw zero television coverage after the sirens went off this morning up there in Kennesaw. So I'm thinking that's pretty much what happened. That's unusual. Normally doesn't work out that way, but it just happened to this morning. So there you go. Thank you, Amy. Fairburn, Georgia. Yeah, the storm's coming through there. Nothing severe. You should be clear in Fairburn by now, as a matter of fact. That should be, everything's down there south of Peachtree City now. All right, so we have a power outage in Woodland, Alabama. That's the first report of power outage I've seen. Thank you, Francis. I appreciate your kind words. So that's it. It's 5:23 a.m. Central. Dr. Don, we've been live now for 3 hours and 52 minutes and 31 seconds in the Southern Union State Community College Severe Weather Center. We're going to wrap this thing up now and put this to bed. We will get your primetime forecast out for you here shortly. And then we may be back in here with you again tonight if we do this again. And there is a decent chance that we may. So be weather aware throughout the day today. I'll be posting information as we get it from the National Weather Service, and I'll let you know if it looks like we're going to go live again tonight. We'll let you know about it right here on Facebook. So thank you all again for joining me. Again, I invite you to go over to paypal.me/Dr. Don WX to support Dr. Don's weather page. We appreciate any support that you can possibly give us. That helps us continue to bring you severe weather coverage here on Dr. Don's weather page. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We'll see you back in here a couple of hours from now. We'll get that primetime weather forecast out for you on Dr. Don's weather page. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We'll see you back in here next time on Dr. Don's weather page.